Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166171 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
This party's getting crazy!
Are those mini horses?
And there's a build-your-own fireworks bar?
Ah! Heads up!
Whoa, and they've got the new ultimate blowout scratch-offs!
Okay, now it's a party!
With $250, $500, and $5,000 prizes, the ultimate blowout scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are exploding with wins. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.26. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner, feeling very fall-like out there after yesterday's cold front. Our high this afternoon around 70, a big drop in humidity, and it's a bit breezy. 49 tonight, so nice and chilly as you're heading out tomorrow morning. Tomorrow we'll see increasing clouds with a high of 71, and over the weekend we could see some scattered rain Saturday and Sunday.
Weather brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your Dow Jones. It is down 305.80, 46,295.
With a draw back, Chetfield, they score! Traffic out front, but Chatfield was ready to let it go. Back for Gostisbehere. Oh, game over! Series over! Sebastian Aho wins it! Svechnikov. He'll get it right back from Walker, and he scores! A sharp angle! Andrei Svechnikov! Now he'll back in one up Stankoven. Stankoven with a shot! He scores! Logan Stankoven!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox here with me. Victoria Bodennecker back at the studio, keeping us up and running. And the reason why we're not in the studio is it's the Canes opener, everybody.
Let's go.
We are outside the Lenovo Center.
We made it, folks.
We did.
We made it.
Well, we're on the way to making it. It's a 7:30 puck drop. It is 3 o'clock. So you need to pace yourself. This is like a coach before warm-ups, right? Don't go too crazy out there in stretching lines.
Yeah.
We need to
save the energy for the game.
We need to be ready for when the puck actually drops. 7:30 p.m. New Jersey Devils in the Lenovo Center. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan, and we'll give you all of the prep, all of the pregame you need, all the way up until puck drop here on 99.9 The Fan. And that will start with something we call the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
It's the Canes opener versus the Devils.
Yeah, let's go.
We weren't going to start anywhere else.
Like I said, we made it.
We weren't going to start anywhere else. As far as like the nuts and bolts of it, let's get some of this out of the way. It appears everybody except for Pyotr Kochetkov is healthy enough to expect to play with no or extremely low limitations or being held back by any kind of an injury. And that includes guys like Andrei Miller, guys like Jalen Chatfield, who we saw very little or none of during the preseason, which, as Rod Brindamore told the media this week, it's by design, right? Be cautious, make sure you're taking care of guys, because it's way more important to have them available, fully healthy for the first game than it is for them to, kick off a little bit of the rust in preseason game 3. With that being said, it does add to the electricity of today's game, in that we haven't seen Andrei Miller, right?
No, we haven't.
In that, we got a taste of Ehlers in a Canes uniform, but just a taste. And we haven't even gotten that of the other big off-season addition in Andrei Miller. So this will be truly the first time we get our eyes on the improvements, which, and we'll talk about this again throughout the show and all the way up till puck drop. One of the beauties of the way the Canes have managed their roster and their franchise as a whole over the last 5 years is that even when fans are clamoring for all in, even when fans are clamoring for, cash out all those tickets and go get the big, they've been extremely disciplined, which means they can be a Eastern Conference Finals team with most of their core locked up, take care of the members of the core that aren't on long-term deals, to where now nearly everybody is, and they can still go add significant pieces in Nikolaj, Ehlers, Andrei Miller, and still have the potential to do more. So I'm confident that this year's team, at least on paper, before we've seen them skate a period, is better than it was last year. And that just so rarely happens in sports when you make it to the Final Four, when you make it to the conference championship, and then can continue to add. So it builds like a rising momentum, right? The music is still getting louder. It hasn't crescendoed yet, even though, like I said, the Canes have had a tremendous run over the last few years. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the additions do. And that includes Andrei Miller. I'm also looking forward to see how Rod uses the new additions and how quickly he starts, trying different pairings and different lines, if we'll see that today at all. So there's a lot to get to, and we will continue to do so throughout the show. But there's also some updating on some stories elsewhere in sports that we need to get to. That's number 1. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
So the last 2 days have not been kind to the UNC Tar Heel football program. There have been insider reports of culture issues, some calling them complete mess, complete disaster. There have been insider reports from our very own Pat Welter, our colleague at Capital Broadcasting, who works for WRAL, as well as many others since his initial reporting, about all of the things that have gone wrong under Bill Belichick at UNC. And it kind of culminated at the end of yesterday's show with some reporting being done by a writer at The Guardian, Ali Connolly, that Bill Belichick had already begun discussing buyout options with Carolina.
Yeah.
And situations in which he might exercise his $1 million buyout, or in which he might lower the buyout that UNC would have to pay him. Well, we have shortly after the show, Bill Belichick and Bubba Cunningham, who is currently the athletic director for North Carolina, although there is already a planned succession. Bill Belichick's statement read like this: "I'm fully committed to UNC football and the program we're building here." End of statement. Bubba Cunningham's statement read like this: "Coach Belichick has the full support of the Department of Athletics and University." End of statement.
That is the most cut and paste PR statements that you could ever draw up.
It almost feels like they were in a room and someone went,
PR 101.
"We just need something to say that you're still building the program." And they're like, "Good, write it down." "And we need something that says that he still has your support." "Perfect, write that down." Print, send. There's a lot to break down here. First of all, it's never good when these statements have to be issued, right? You never issue these statements after like a 4-game winning streak. It's never good when you have to remind everybody that you want to be doing your job, because that probably means your job isn't being done super well, or it doesn't appear as if you're super attentive. I've been around a bunch of different college programs, I'll put it that way, and I have yet to cover one of these statements that ends with, "and then they turned it around and end up being the coach for the next 5 years."
Yeah.
Is when you have to make a point to say, he's not leaving, we want him here. I'm not leaving, they want me here. That's usually a sign of things are going pretty darn bad, and it's hard to get that train back on the track.
It's like the old, oh yeah, it's our public vote of confidence for this person. It means, yeah, if they don't get their stuff together, then they're out of here. Because that's usually what happens.
The only thing that it missed was right now at the end, which would say like tomorrow it could be different. But there, I mean, it happens in sports all the time. All right, the example I always use is his name was Justin Fuente. He was the coach of Virginia Tech when I was covering them, and they held a press conference to say we're not firing him in the offseason. The athletic director held a press conference to say we are not firing our coach. I think he was fired like week 6 of the next season. It's I haven't seen it, at least in my personal coverage. Once you start making these statements, it usually doesn't end well. What I've seen most often is once you start making these statements, they begin to be they remain the coach until the buyout becomes palatable. Shortly after a significant drop down in buyout is usually when the parting of ways happens, which they could get, like if Ollie Connolly of The Guardian was reporting accurately, they could get there tomorrow, right? If there's an agreement on, the contract says 20 million, I'll take 12, and UNC goes, we can't afford 20, we can afford 12. That's all it takes for this to happen. If that reporting is right, there's a lot of different voices being heard here and a lot of different leaks that are possible. So, take everything with a grain of salt.
Real quick.
Yep.
Is it a good thing that they're not playing a game this weekend?
No, bad thing.
Bad? Because I think that I view it from the standpoint of this weekend, you don't play a game, so then now the attention is going to turn to all the other games and stuff that are going to be being played. And you actually get to kind of lay low, because if they do play this weekend and they stink it up again, now you really are going to have more people giving you heat on Saturday and Sunday.
I think that's true whenever they play their next game. If they lose to Cal by a bunch, it's fuel to the fire. But what I don't like if I'm North Carolina is on a bye week, you talk to a lot more people.
True.
Players, right? You hear from your high school coach. You can maybe even, if you live close enough, you get a day off, you can, go home to the high school game. You can talk to your buddies, you can talk to your family. And with the questions being asked and some of the reports that have been, parents quoted and things like that, I want my team together 24 hours a day, which does happen on a game day, right? I want everybody to bind together. You just have less control on a bye week. You give players free time on a bye week with the hopes that, they work ahead in academics and things, and they get caught up on things they've missed because of being in the middle of practice.
You not go to Nantucket?
That was last bye week, and that was the coach. He doesn't have class.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have economics 101. If he had economics 101, actually he might have economics 305 because he's got a $20 million buyout protecting himself right now.
Maybe
way,
he took astrology like Armando Bacot did. You remember that? Remember that? Astrology.
I don't want to put Armando Bacot's name out there, but maybe he air quotes takes classes like some other UNC athletes in the past. But whether it's astrology or otherwise. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we make too many jokes at UNC's expense, although if you want jokes at UNC's expense, Twitter search Belichick. Plenty of them there. Let's go ahead and jump from number 2 to number 3.
Number 3.
The Panthers practice today.
They do.
The Chuba Hubbard off to the side still is the report I've seen, which means I would guess if he's not in with the active roster kind of playing on the game or the ones field yet, we could have another Rico Dowdle game, which is another opportunity for him to just, build the trust in everybody else, meaning everybody building trust in him is what I mean. The play callers, the offensive line, everybody else. It won't be a full Wally Pipp situation. I want that to be clear, right? Chuba Hubbard's not going to come back and not see the field once he gets healthy. It's running back, which is beautiful, by the way, that, this kind of backup, unbelievable performance came at a position where you play more than one guy, right? If it were a quarterback, then the starter's coming back and going, oh, darn, like I just lost my job. It's center, right? Same thing, like these onesie positions where you don't rotate in. When it's running back, Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard can both be as big a part as they earn moving forward.
Something to keep in mind as well, Turk Wharton, the defensive lineman, did not practice again today because he's dealing with a toe injury. Taylor Moton, same thing, didn't practice today, dealing with an elbow injury, which on that right side of the offensive line is where Rico Dowdle had his most success. It's where he had his biggest runs. He had the most consistent success. So you have Brady Christensen playing at right guard in place of Robert Hunt, who did a really good job, who's been a starter as a guard in the NFL already. But now you have to go down from probably your most consistent offensive lineman in Taylor Moton, possibly down to Yosh Nijman. I that could potentially spell trouble for a team that wants to lean on the run game.
Very much so. And Moton has been like a dependable star in the last handful of years, let alone just this year. He's been the guy who, in a sea of chaos, has been pretty consistent. So losing that consistency is a big deal. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Anything else from Panther practice? That's the big news I've seen is that Chuba Hubbard's still kind of off to the side.
I know a lot of people are curious about Jalen Coker still working with the practice squad or scout team, I should say, today with the offense. Again, he's still technically on injured reserve.
With the 21-day practice window opened. Yesterday, he was wearing a number 3 jersey, which is not his number, which implies he is George Pickens this week. So, when George Pickens lines up to the right on scout team, he goes right. Defense knows where he is. They can move their coverage as necessary. Although I will say this, just doing some opposing team scouting. Some beat reporters on the Cowboys side of things did post pictures of CeeDee Lamb without any tape or wrap or brace on his ankle. If he plays, I think you'll see Jalen Coker take off the number 3 and put on an 88, because suddenly you're shading all of your coverage towards CeeDee Lamb rather than George Pickens. But it's just, they've got some receivers. They have an offense with Dallas. That is for certain.
By the way, Joseph Hoyt, Dallas beat reporter for the Dallas News, posted this on about 45 minutes ago. Says CeeDee Lamb was back on the cords today. He said that this was definitely an acceleration in his rehab work. Feels like next Sunday against Washington is more of a target for Lamb than this Sunday, in his opinion. But to be determined, though.
That's good, because CeeDee Lamb is all over my fantasy teams, and I don't want to be conflicted. I don't want to be happy when he scores on the Panthers. So next week, that's better. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the big 3 at 3. Coming up next, we're outside the Lenovo Center. It is a gosh darn beautiful day.
It's awesome.
Breeze and all. Tailgaters they beat me here. I was getting here in advance of the show, driving in, passing tailgaters, waving and yelling, "Go Canes." It is a great day for hockey. 7:30 puck drop. We dive further into the Canes as their season gets started. Coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending and Cary. With the Federal Reserve cutting rates, the most frequent question we get is, do I wait for rates to go lower, or should I take the savings and just act now? At Miller Lending, we toss all the timing questions aside with our popular no-cost program. With no fees charged or added to your loan amount, you simply close on today's rates and refinance again as rates fall. With many economists predicting rates in the 5s next year, why pay upwards of $15,000 to $20,000 in closing costs just to get a rate you may get for no cost next spring? Imagine the freedom to use that money for more important things than reducing your payment by the extra $50. Recently, we've noticed a trend of related party transactions as some of the nation's largest lenders have bought real estate or mortgage lead sites, driving closing costs even higher. Please don't throw away all that cash or equity when all you wanted was a lower payment. Call Miller Lending and see why a no-cost loan is the right loan for you. 919-447-3377, 919-447-3377, or simply apply online at millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender on MLS number 250-2146.
Waking up, getting ready, sitting in traffic. Let's face it, getting to work in the morning is a lot of work. But when you get a great deal on your favorite McDonald's coffee, becoming a morning person is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now get any size refreshingly cold iced coffee for $1, a delicious mocha for $2, and a frappe for $3. Available only during breakfast hours. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Here's Megan with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Are sleepless nights affecting your life? Parkway Sleep Health Centers can help. We've treated sleep disorders in the Triangle and beyond for over 20 years. We offer sleep studies, office visits, CPAP machines, supplies, and more. And our streamlined process allows us to see you sooner and usually saves hundreds of dollars.
End sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
Oh. All right. The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We are live outside the Lenovo Center, the site for the not just home opener, but season opener for the Carolina Hurricanes as they take on the New Jersey Devils. 7:30 puck drop expected for that one. And I actually think the Devils are a really good opponent to get things started with, because it's if you're somebody, right, there's kind of two competitors, motivated by winning and terrified of losing. Whatever you are, today is the day, because you hate the Devils enough that you're going to be out there looking to land the first punch against a team you're going to see a whole bunch of times and have seen in the postseason and have a history with, and there's everything else.
And a team like New Jersey as well that was banged up in the playoffs as well, that really wants to say, hey, you know what, we're actually are for real.
And then they've paid some people this week, really.
Yeah.
And then the Canes have paid some new people, so everybody's coming in thinking they're optimistic about their season, and they think they have their core intact, and you get to see who's better. And also, for the most part, healthy, which I like, right? I like, I don't like winning a game because their guy is hurt. I don't like them winning a game because our guy is hurt. I like best on best, go out there and play hockey, and I think that's what we're going to get. I do want to take a time just to quickly here look at the actual lines as they were at morning skate, because quite frankly, we haven't seen many of them skate together. The top line is where so many of the eyes are going to go. It is Aho centering Ehlers and Jarvis. And the moment that the Canes signed Nikolaj Ehlers in free agency, this line is what everybody imagined. This line is what everybody got excited about. What I hope happens, if I'm just in a fever dream asking for everything, is that because they're all such high hockey IQ guys, and because they're all so comfortable playing two-way hockey and all of these things, that each of them can get like 20% more selfish, right? Where they can all hunt like a career high in goals because they recognize some of the dirty work, some of the unseen stuff that I usually put all on my plate. These other two can take their third. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like they're all. You don't have to cover for anybody in the dirty work that they're so good at. So with that, maybe it frees them up to take a little bit more of a chance, carry the puck into the zone when you might need to be covered up if something goes haywire by your buddy. So Ehlers is another guy that fits. The Canes do a very good job of finding Canes, if you know what I mean there, right? He fits what they want to do, their core principles, and I'm hoping that frees up Aho and Jarvis to go hunt goals a little bit more.
I don't know if it necessarily opens them up to hunt goals a little bit more. I think what it does is that it opens up more space for them to operate on the offensive end of the ice. I think that's where you're going to see, because the speed of Nikolaj Ehlers is going to it's going to force the defense to get back a little bit further, or like try and get back a little quicker to compensate for that speed, which is going to leave more space in the middle of the ice for those guys to work. And I think that's where you're going to start to see them thrive. I don't know if it's necessarily go hunt more, because if you try and go hunt, then if you miss, then you're going to be leaving your defense hanging out to dry. But I think the speed is going to open up the ice more for those guys, and that's where you're going to see the benefit.
And hopefully they get to the point, and I'm not expecting it game one, which we'll talk about how this is game one of many, 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 and they'll get better. Their vision can help as well, right? The runs they used to make or positions they used to get in and maybe wouldn't be seen will be seen more often now, because you just have guys that are elite passers and elite vision guys out there along with you. Which, by the way, I did put out a tweet asking for bold predictions.
Okay.
And just immediately, Andrew wrote in, Jarvis is going to have a career high in points, parentheses 80 plus, and be a 40-goal scorer this year. I think that is what many are hoping for. I think he's ready for a star turn. I think how that line fits and what their roles become end up being a huge part of how high that ceiling can rise for a guy like Jarvis. If you have other bold predictions, we'd love to hear them. You can head to my Twitter and reply to the tweet that I requested them at Donnelly Sports.
Also go on to YouTube live chat as well. Yep. Leave us a bold predictions there. Also, let us know your first goal scorer of the season.
Let us know
your first goal scorer of the season.
In the 5 o'clock hour, we'll get to first goal scorer predictions.
Let us know what period they score as well.
First goal scorer and what period it will score. And we're talking for the Canes. Don't be cute.
Yeah, we're like, Jack Hughes in the first.
None of that. Second line, and a lot of people are going to be focused on the second line for the Canes. Svech and Blake, centered by Logan Stankoven. This is one of those moments to remember. It is game one. If Logan Stankoven isn't a all-star second line center today, it's okay.
That's all right.
it's all right. I think you're looking more for the ability to, right? You're looking for things that show he can be physical enough. He won't get bullied. He's decent in the face-off circle. He looks like he belongs. That's what you're looking for as far as Logan Stankoven in that second line for the Carolina Hurricanes. And then, yeah, if he wants to go crazier, if he wants to do more than that, well, we'd love to hear that as well. Looks like we have a celebrity guest coming through. We'll talk to her later. Are you coming in now? You want to do it now?
We'll do it in like 2 minutes.
All right,
That's
we'll do it in
fine.
like 2
Yeah,
minutes.
that's Kat Campbell, WRAL.
She's going to let us know the tailgate weather report, which I think today is going to be one of the more fun days to tell everybody what the weather is.
Yes.
Because at least if it's anything like right now, it's going to be awesome.
It's awesome.
The other two lines, the Stahl and Martinook line joined by William Carrier. That is an identity line that fits.
Yep.
And the fourth line, Kochetkov will be the center. And fourth line, I know the Canes don't label them, but they go out there in an order. Hall on one side, Robinson on the other. Jankowski expected to be the healthy scratch. What do you think about that fourth line's potential?
I think that is a line that should take advantage of so many other teams during the course of the season, because you have someone who's played in a top six as a center in Jesperi Kotkaniemi. He has that experience, but so is Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall has been a former league MVP. Is he what he was back in 2018? No, he's not, but that's okay. And he doesn't have to be because of the role that he's playing in. And you have a guy like Eric Robinson, who not only is a big guy, physical guy, but he's actually a really fast skater as well. I think that fourth line, when you have matchups against opposing teams' fourth line, can be take advantage and feast on those guys. But if they also get caught out there against another team's second line, they should be fine as well. I think it's not a scare if they're accidentally, quote unquote, caught out there against another line.
All three are first team all league, and wow, they're bigger than I thought.
Yeah,
all three, because you just, for whatever reason, you walk by him and you're like, goodness, I didn't realize he was that big, and yet they all are. So I think they can be physical. I'm excited for that line. When it comes to the blue line, Slavin and Walker up there at the top.
I love this pair.
This is something we've been asking for, and at the times we saw it last year, I think it was easily good enough to warrant seeing it through this season. We could talk a lot about Jacob Slavin, and we probably will, but at this point, it's a metronome, right? It's just so good that it's almost, we take him for granted. And with that, we're bringing on Kat Campbell, WRAL meteorologist. Give us a little tailgate weather report.
Oh my gosh, what a day!
Right? Is this what we can expect?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
This is the actual best weather day that we have had since May. I mean, it's been a while. We're only in the upper 60s to near 70 today. It's breezy. Leave your tailgate tents at home. We could see winds gusting to 25 miles per hour. I mean, and it's so nice. You don't need the shade out here today. Phenomenal weather.
It
all
is.
around.
And a few days ago, people were telling me to worry about rain, and they're like, oh, who knows if we'll be able to be out there on the plaza. And then it comes out like this, and I'm going like, well, that's got to be a good omen, right? That's a nod from the hockey gods to Southern hockey. You get a great tailgate day.
It's perfect. The weekend is maybe when, there could be some showers around, but hey, it's an indoor sport. You're inside. We know we love tailgating. That's what we do best. Canes, State. We got to get out here. We got to support the team. It's a beautiful day. If you're listening to us and you're still at work, come on out. We don't have enough people out here yet.
Okay, well, speaking of the weekend real fast, because since you brought it up, the Canes are here at home on Saturday. It's a 7 o'clock puck drop. If people are looking to maybe tailgate on Saturday, or things a little dicey for Saturday evening?
It is going to be dicey
Okay.
Saturday evening. Saturday evening might be a day where you go to your local hole-in-the-wall sports bar, watch some of the football games maybe, and then come here
Gotcha.
from there. It's just not looking like a good tailgating day.
All right, you know that when we have you on, we're not just bringing on for the weather. We need your vibes and your gut instinct. So, first of all, prediction for the game.
We're going to win 3-1.
Beautiful.
I like it.
Love the confidence. And we also we do this for everybody that joins the show on game day. Who scores the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes, and in what period?
The new guy. Ehlers?
Ehlers.
Okay.
Nikolaj Ehlers.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. We'll throw a curveball. I like to keep it interesting. I think your other guests probably have better answers, but I'll throw the curveball out in case it happens.
Well, I'll tell you this. People that study it a ton, Ehlers is a good pick.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I assume first period, right?
Yeah.
Super confident. Yep.
Yep. We're going to go first period for that. It's going to be a good game. It's a beautiful day. We know people are going to show up. They're going to have some confidence going into the new season. And I don't know if things have been so crazy in football
Mhm.
that I just haven't heard. But I haven't heard a lot of build up to this season. And I feel like NC State tends to do better when we don't have a lot of build up to the season. So maybe that'll be the case for the Canes.
I think a little bit of that is just everybody trusts the Canes, and they're like, we don't have to be crazy. It's just they're going to be good, and we're expecting them to be good. And they did a lot of their off-season work with contracts and things early in the off-season, while some teams are coming down to the wire. So
Can I ask you a question? Now?
Sure.
We'll throw another curveball. Have you seen the new food list for this season?
I've seen. Are you talking about the two new? I saw Willie's Chicken
Mhm.
and Sup Dogs is going to be in there, right?
Yes, and they had sushi. They sent
Oh.
us a press release with all of these options, and I wasn't sure about the sushi. Sushi at a stadium.
It's for they got something for everybody, right? And
Exactly.
whatever you're into at a game. I don't think sushi watching a game, but if somebody does, you're
There you
welcome.
go.
Everybody's welcome in the Lenovo Center.
Yeah.
That's funny. And they're like the Sup Dogs and the Willie's Chicken and everything are I guess more traditional sports foods. So there's something for everybody.
Yeah, and they've got non-alcoholic. They have athletic brewing this year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Campbell.
Willie's Chicken, Sup Dogs, and like you said, there's the Lenovo Legend Club has an all-inclusive food and beverage experience. They have fresh sushi hand rolled in house.
Dennis, you said that like you had heard about it. You're reading it as we
I
speak.
am.
In house.
I was just
that's funny.
reiterating what Kat said.
I was just
it's
surprised.
the press release. Just saying.
I don't usually see hockey and sushi, but you know what? We should give it a try.
I'm not a sushi person, so I'll pass.
I mean, the Canes are like highfalutin. I feel like that's like fancy, right? That's like
kind
of the Canes and fancy foods. That's what I'm going with.
Real quick,
hopefully fancy goals too.
When people leave the game today, what should they expect weather-wise? So do we have to go to the Carolina Pro Shop, buy a hoodie to make sure I'm warm enough when I'm leaving after this 3-1 win?
Yeah, it's the coldest night of the fall season so far. We're going to be in the mid-50s as you leave the game tonight.
Okay.
And when you wake up tomorrow morning, 49 degrees.
Wow.
Yes, I'm loving
Sweater weather.
every second of it.
Sweater weather in more ways than one. Kat, we appreciate it as always. You're locked into Ehlers in the first, and if you win, we will give you your props and your just due.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Kat.
Once again, that's Kat Campbell, WRAL meteorologist. Continue to check up with her and her work over at WRAL for all your weather questions. We'll be back, and we will continue previewing the Carolina Hurricanes. But first, Dennis is pointing to himself, which means he has something he wants to tell you.
I do. Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Law Tiger. Something I definitely did today, coming out here in this beautiful weather. I took the motorcycle in today because on weather like this, how can you not get out there on the road? I mean, I'm sure people that are driving around maybe right now, windows down, or you're working at home, windows are open because you want to enjoy this fresh air that we have, the beautiful weather we have going on. Expect to see a lot of motorcycles out there on the road this time of year. Just expect it. And I actually see, as a motorcycle rider, I'm seeing more and more out there. So be cognizant out there when you're on the road as a driver to make sure you're looking to make sure that there aren't motorcycles that might be coming around a corner. They're not as easy to see, but it's also, I say this often, and I say it again, it's also in you as a motorcycle rider to make sure you are as visible as possible. When you're riding, especially in the daytime, put your high beam on. That's one of the best ways you can make yourself visible out there on the road. But if you are injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you contact the insurance company. Insurance companies, let's be honest, they want to give you the least amount possible. Whereas Law Tigers, they're riders too. They know what your bike is worth. They know what your gear is worth, but also they understand the dangers of the road and what it's like to go through an accident. Your case evaluation with Law Tigers, it's always free, and you don't owe a dime until your case settles. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will continue getting you ready for Canes hockey next.
Hey folks, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. One thing you need to make sure with your motorcycle that you do is properly store your bike. If you have a garage, obviously keep it in there, but if you can't, make sure you keep it covered. Keep it out of the elements. We got a lot of moisture, got a lot of rain runoff. Take care of your motorcycle, and it will take care of you. But accidents, unfortunately, do happen, and this is where Law Tigers steps in to help you. Law Tigers are part of the motorcycle riding community. They know what your bike is worth, they know what your gear is worth, but most importantly, they know what you're going through after an accident. That's why your case evaluation is always free with Law Tigers, and they don't get paid a dime until your case settles. So make sure you contact them even before you contact the insurance companies, because insurance companies, they want to pay you the least amount possible. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Again, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS is the number to call, or you can always visit them online, lawtigers.com. Again, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. North Carolina's motorcycle injury lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Tim, I'm receiving an important update.
Ooh, are you getting night vision?
No, I just found out you could get $200 with Navy Federal Credit Union when you refinance your auto loans from another lender.
So, no night vision?
No night vision.
Learn more at NavyFederal.org/autoloans. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Credit and collateral subject to approval. Refinance loan must be at least $5,000 to be eligible for the $200. Terms and conditions apply.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right, you can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WARM to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WARM for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WARM for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Is your whole home operating at peak performance? With Newcomb & Company, your independent Trane dealer, proudly serving our community for over 70 years. As a Comfort contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs, including repairs and replacements for faucets, toilets, piping, garbage disposals, water heaters, drain cleaning, and more. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox from 99 on the Fan for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've been on the journey of weight loss with Raleigh Weight Loss Center for 9 weeks now, and I've lost 40 pounds. That's real talk. I've lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and I feel the effects of those 40 pounds gone throughout my everyday life. My knees, hips, and ankles just simply feel better when walking the dog in the morning or go playing in my men's league hockey games. I feel so much better after having a good night of sleep because I'm sleeping so much better thanks to the weight that I've lost through Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And you can get on that journey as well. Give them a call at 919-897-7506 or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up a free 15-minute phone call. That's right. I'll say it again. A free 15-minute phone call. Not sure if the program is right for you? Any questions and concerns that you might have? Set up that free consultation right now at 919-897-7506 or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I love when, and there's no disrespect to Dennis, I love when we get one of the fill-in producers and we get to see what music they choose. So Victoria Vodnecker's back at the studio, and you can tell she is jacked up for opening day.
Yes.
She's ready to get people fired up.
It's Kate's home opener, people. Let's go.
Might as well be like a 1998 jock jam. Like I'm just ready to get fired up. Every in and out of break, we get a real banger.
I don't know, Victoria, I imagine you obviously got a good mood with the game going on today, but the Panthers had a win this past Sunday as well. Things are feeling pretty good in your world.
Yeah,
Victoria.
they did. My Cubs won yesterday.
Hey, look at this.
24 hours. I got a W.
Look at that.
I'm gonna try to watch them too.
You get to run the show for the drive. I mean,
I
everything
know.
is coming up, Victoria.
Look at all of this. I'm just so grateful.
And we're grateful to have you along for the ride. Hopefully it's good omen, right? Hopefully it leads right into the opener for the Canes, which I've been making this point throughout the show. I promise I won't make it over and over and over again too much.
All right.
They play the Devils tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They play Philly on Saturday. Then they're on the road at San Jose Tuesday, on the road at Anaheim Thursday, on the road at LA the following Saturday. There's a lot of these things to go, is the point I'm trying to make.
It's a long season.
I promise you tomorrow on the show, we will overreact because it's what fans do and it's what, people that cover a team do after game one. But, do your best, and we'll do our best to imagine this as one game in like early December, right? Because that's all it is. It's one slice of a very, very big pie. Very, very big, whatever you want to call it. But it's just all we're going to have to react to tomorrow. So, we talked about the first line. We talked about the top defensive pair, Slavin and Walker. I'm very excited by that pairing, but I also kind of wish we would treat this team as we will Slavin. Because if Slavin has a -2 today, there's going to be zero panic about Jacob Slavin. There's going to be people going like, well, that's weird. All right, well, who we playing on Saturday? Like, that's it, right? I kind of wish we can give that same grace to the team, although I will acknowledge the team as a whole, this iteration, hasn't earned what Slavin has earned by putting, 700 games or whatever it's been of really good play out there. But with that being said, it's just one game. It's just one game. So as we continue our kind of trip through the projected lines, Miller Chatfield as that second defensive pairing is, especially because we did not see Keandre Miller at all during the preseason and we didn't see Jalen Chatfield.
No.
So there's a little bit more anticipation built up, but I am really excited to see what those two guys can do together in a defensive pairing, assuming they end up getting to play a ton of minutes together.
Yeah, the potential, again, let's keep this in mind.
It's game one.
It's game one, but also how long it actually takes for guys to get used to the Kane system on the blue line. It took Brent Burns 15, 20 games to really start feeling comfortable. Same thing with Sean Walker. Not that they couldn't play in it, but to really feel confident and actually play to their best. Sean Walker was playing his best hockey the last 2-3 months of the season because it just takes a little bit of time. So let's keep that in mind as well when it comes to Keandre and when he's paired with Chatfield. And the nice thing about being paired with Chatfield for Keandre is that if he does make a mistake, Chatfield is going to be able to cover for him. But Keandre also just has the skating ability to get back as well. Because I remember I talked to him one-on-one just before training camp started, and he even acknowledged, he's like, yeah, a couple of times I got caught out of position when in New York, but I had the speed to recover and get back. And I think that's something that's going to benefit those two as well so much together because they're both elite end skaters. They're super fast, and they have a level of physicality that they both can provide as well. That should be a dynamic pair down the line for hopefully this season for Carolina.
How much does that on-ramp, how much of that on-ramp was taken away or maybe added to for somebody like Alexander Nikishin, who is a rookie? Like, he's brand new, but he did get those few games in the postseason last year.
I still think the ramp up is still going to be pretty long for him because he's still getting used to playing in the NHL in North America. Whereas Sean Walker, Keandre Miller, these guys have been playing in the NHL already for years. So I think they're still getting used to NHL style of play. Still has, obviously, he's still learning and bettering his English, so being able to communicate better. But he still not only has to get used to the system, he has to get used to the system while also playing North American NHL hockey as opposed to what he did so long in the KHL.
What I expect from both Miller and Nikishin skating with Gosh Despear down on that third pair. Gosh Despear will be offhand. He'll be doing a lot in special teams as well. What I expect from Nikishin and Miller is that on-ramp that we talk about. We've seen so many defenders go through it when they join the Canes. But I, maybe more so than even any of those recent guys, I expect flashes where physically you recognize, oh, these guys got something going. This is not a veteran who's, probably going to maybe get it a little bit faster, but is holding on as those skills regress. These are two guys like in the prime of their physical ability. And I do think there will be plays where you just go, goodness, Keandre, look at that skating or look at that stick work or whatever it is. Indication, power and physicality and 6'4", 220, laser rocket shot, all those things.
I think Nikishin is going to bring a little bit of that meanness and nastiness on the back end that the Canes needed. But that's someone that the guy can skate. He has all the physical stuff. We've seen it in the preseason. We saw it even in flashes and moments last year. But I think there's a little bit of nasty in his game, which is just, you know what? I'm not afraid to run you over and say bleep you while I'm doing it, because I'm sure that's one of the first things you learn in English. When you learn a foreign language is you learn how to swear. But I think he's going to bring that nastiness and that edge on the blue line that this team really has missed, that really it hasn't had in a while. He's going to bring that.
And he has the size, because I do think there are other players on the team that have a similar mentality, but it's easier when you're 6'4", 220.
Yeah,
it's easier when you're 6'4", 215.
For sure.
And you can withstand more of it. So he's a big dude, and I'm interested to see where that goes. Pyotr Kochetkov not expected or not available today, which means Freddie Anderson will be in net with Bussy, I believe is how you pronounce it. The goalie that they just claimed will be dressed and prepared if Freddie needs a replacement. So that's what we're looking like in goal, and we'll talk about goalie later on in the show because there's more than a couple minutes to dive into there. When we come back here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan, we have the Dean's List coming your way. But first, Tim Donnelly for Maynard Service Company. I need to go back and talk with their owner, Brett, once again, because every time I talk with anybody mixing into that organization, Maynard Service Company, it's similar to some of the best run professional sports teams we cover. It's from the top down. Everybody's in alignment. Everybody has the same goals. And when it comes to Maynard Service Company, those goals are making sure that your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric are all working well. And if they are not working well, they have the 24/7 all across the triangle service with technicians that are very well trained, very knowledgeable, that are ready to head out there and fix it. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, they do it all, and they do it all very well. And there's really excellence from the top. Like I said, a very well-run organization. I think of everything like a sports franchise. They'd be in the playoffs every year. The number to call is 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or you can visit them online at maynardservices.com. That's MAYNOR services.com. We have the Dean's List coming up next. Pushed it around a little bit, shuffled some things, but we're going to highlight those in the college sports world. Coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
It's the final shot at the Championship 4. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
At Smith Douglas Homes, we're proud to support our hometown heroes, teachers, healthcare workers, firefighters, and military. As a thank you, receive a $2,500 credit towards your new home purchase. Explore smithdouglas.com. Smith Douglas, where it's your home, your choice within reach.
It's open enrollment. Time to choose a plan that includes Wake Med, the leading provider of healthcare services in Wake County. On the exchange, choose a plan that includes Wake Med. Looking for a Medicare plan? Choose one that includes Wake Med. Got a company plan? Make sure Wake Med is in it. Learn more at wakemed.org. After all, it's your health, your choice, and you're about to make a very good decision.
Football season is here, and Carolina Ale House is the place to be. With a massive beer selection, wall-to-wall TVs, and our award-winning wings, you'll never miss a play. Add in our lineup of homemade favorites, and you've got the best seat in the house. Bring your friends, bring your appetite, and help us create that game day atmosphere all season long at Carolina Ale House. Wings, beer, sports, repeat. Hell yeah.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. Imagine lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let the high rates hold you back. Call 919-381-1760 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Little bit of news, Dennis. You just gave it to me off air, so we'll pass it along. Some practice availability or participation reports for the Carolina Panthers. What do we got?
Yeah, real quick, Jatavian Sanders, who missed the last couple of weeks with an ankle injury, was limited yesterday. Full participant in practice today, which I think is really awesome to see. Shaw Smith-Wade, who missed last week with a chest injury, full practice once again today. Mike Jackson, full participant in practice. He got a little nicked up rib injury in Sunday's win against the Dolphins, but he's been full go. Jalen Coker was a full participant in practice again today. Granted, working with the scout team, but you never know. They might still decide to activate him. But guys that did not practice today, special teamer, backup defensive back Caleb Evans missed the second straight day. Chuba Hubbard did not practice again today because of that calf injury. Taylor Moton, the starting right tackle, did not practice for the second straight day due to an elbow injury. And Tershawn Wharton, the defensive tackle, did not practice again for the second straight day due to a toe injury. Generally not good signs. Not good signs for those guys.
If you're not playing by Thursday, and you're not like a super duper uber veteran who's been with the team for forever, it's unlikely that you get healthy that quickly. But we'll see.
At minimum, limited. Then CBB on Friday, you're a little bit more good to go. But it doesn't look like those four guys, Evans, Hubbard, Moton, Wharton, not looking good for this Sunday against Dallas.
But that's, still a chance. So we're not reporting they aren't playing, just that they didn't practice today.
Yeah.
With that passed along, everybody's up to date. Let's go ahead and hit the Dean's List. Classes in session. This is where we give a few extra accolades, a little extra praise to those directly or indirectly related to the college sports that we hold so dear here in the Triangle. I'll get us started with former UNC linebacker Cedric Gray.
Okay.
Cedric Gray got one of those football team awards that football players and football coaches love. He was in a black jersey at practice today for the Tennessee Titans, which is where he plays now, which is a new recognition that the Titans have started called the Dirty Work Player of the Game.
All right.
It goes to the player who does their job best on Sunday, despite it not always showing up on the stat sheet. You got the Dirty Work Player of the Game, UNC.
I like that.
A little extra. It's literally kind of like Dean's List. It's like extra accolades to somebody that normally wouldn't get it.
Well, especially because I used to say this all the time as a coach. You hear Rob Brindamore and some of these other coaches really name your sport, say it. It's the stuff that doesn't show up in the stat sheet all the time that makes the difference. So being recognized for those things is a big deal because, for example, in hockey, you get your stick in a passing lane, you lift someone's stick so a scoring chance is negated. That doesn't show up in a stat sheet. But it stopped a potential goal from happening. So there's different things that you can do that coaches and other people recognize. That's good. Good for Cedric.
Cedric Gray doing the little things. More Dean's List for you.
Okay.
The chip on Will Wade's shoulder.
That's a block.
I guess
that's a block. Ain't no chip. That's a block.
For NC State. So I didn't see this. We were on air when this took place at ACC tip-off, but I learned about it in the moments after. When the teams and coaches at ACC tip-off for men's basketball for the ACC went up on stage, they had a little background that was, their team logo and that sort of deal, team colors. And then off to the side, there was another screen that had just the headshots of the coach and or actually of the 3 players or 2 players that they brought. Instead of having Darian Williams, who, by the way, Darian Williams is quite frankly, one of the best players in the country, right? At least he was last year. He was all Big 12 for Texas Tech. One of, if not the highest rated transfer on multiple recruiting services, chose NC State, and he was there representing the Wolfpack. Instead of having a photo of Darian Williams alongside Will Wade and Ben Allen Lubin, they had a headshot from a player on another team that didn't look anything like Darian Williams, and it just had Darian Williams' name underneath. So it was just the wrong headshot. And part of what Will Wade said at the podium when he went up there was, and I quote, "You think that would happen to Duke or Carolina?" Which is why I love having Will Wade as the head coach of NC State, because where so many other coaches would get into coach speak and say, oh, it's okay. Not only am I going to call it out, I'm going to call it out and our 2 rivals across the way for being silver spoon in the conference. And I'm going to put that chip on our shoulder even greater. And set it off a little bit with one of our best players who we are going to need if we are going to chase down those programs and win in the ACC. So the chip on Will Wade's shoulder, as if it needed more reason to grow, was gifted a wrong picture at ACC tip-off, which is like, as a coach, you can't buy that kind of motivation, right?
That's free bulletin board material.
Exactly.
That's 100% is. Hey, look, the ACC doesn't even think you're worthy.
And it's not even like no player on another team had to go out of pocket and like talk trash. They got it for free. Like you take that, you take a picture of it, you put it in your locker room, and you say, this is what your own conference thinks of you. Go win games. So there you go. There's a little silver lining there on some disrespect towards NC State. And I will vouch, no disrespect to Darian or whoever's headshot that was. They look absolutely nothing alike.
No, nothing.
If it were somebody that had, I don't know, that similar facial features or something, similar haircut, something, I'd be like, okay, they look nothing alike.
I mean, one thing if it was, Cameron Boozer, but they put up the picture of, Caden Boozer.
Yeah.
The guys are twins, maybe that.
If there was a Darren Williams on the team or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a different dude.
It's just completely
just
wrong
a different guy. And Dennis, I have. Do you have any Dean's Listers?
I actually have a couple more to throw out there. First of all,
get
Dean's
yours
list,
out because you're not going to like mine.
A Dean's list to everyone that showed up at ACC kickoff and spoke to media and answered all the questions and everything along those lines. So they all make the Dean's list for being there. But also, I'm going to throw Jim Phillips, ACC commissioner, on the Dean's list. And here's the reason why.
He doesn't make it often.
He was asked about, I know he talked to the Field of 68 guys about this, about potentially the expansion of the NCAA tournament. And he said that he's in favor of an incremental increase, but he doesn't want to do it to the point where it devalues the regular season of college basketball, which I think is a big thing. Because I think college basketball and the ACC in particular need to make sure that their games matter outside of the month of March. And Jim Phillips sees the big picture with that as well. He's like, I don't want this to be we're all just about March and then the rest of the season doesn't matter because you have so many teams that get in. The regular season does have to matter. So, yeah, I 100% agree with Jim Phillips on that one. So, Jim Phillips, Dean's list.
If they expand it too far, they'll have to start in January.
Yeah. I mean, Jeff Capel was
128.
Jeff Capel, if I remember correctly, he said he was in favor of maybe going 72 or 76, which I think is the kind of the line where Jim Phillips said as well. I'd be okay with that because, again, you're only adding about, 8 teams? So you're just adding another day in Dayton, basically, is what you're going to do. That I'm okay with. I don't like the idea of a complete full other round of the NCAA tournament.
And I do expect coaches to be overwhelmingly in favor of it because they want to make the tournament.
Yeah.
And also there is part of me that just says if it gives more players that opportunity to be in the coolest tournament in sports, I'm okay with that. But you're right. I don't want to devalue the regular season because it's one of the better regular seasons in sports as well. My final Dean's list.
Okay.
South Carolina Gamecocks.
Why?
Because if you look at the Panthers' win over the weekend, there was a Xavier Legette touchdown.
Yeah.
There was a Rico Dowdle monster game. Both South Carolina Gamecocks.
Touchdown.
J.C. Horn led a defense that did very, very well.
Yeah.
I've been putting it off, but I feel like we got to acknowledge that the South Carolina Gamecocks had a good. And if you go beyond that, even Debo Samuel's having like he's been reborn with the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler got his first career win for the Saints against the Giants. Like there was a weirdly good weekend for South Carolina Gamecocks. So I feel like we have to tip our cap to our southern neighbors. I know you don't like it, but the proof is in the like I am big on accountability. If we praise those that do well and we don't praise others that do well, I feel like we lose our credibility here. So credit to the South Carolina Gamecocks and their professional alumni. And we got a clap from Dennis Cox. If that's not honor and respect, where we say, like, listen, if you do good, we're going to give you your credit. Like, there it is right there.
By the way, it is very odd how few Clemson guys have played for the Carolina Panthers. So very few Clemson guys. I mean, Hunter Renfrow is the only guy right now, but they've had a long history of going after South Carolina guys, but very, very rarely do they ever get Clemson guys. It's weird.
Well, they don't like Dabo, I guess.
I don't know.
I don't know what it is. That's it for the Dean's List. Let's go ahead and dismiss the class. And let's get ready for a little football at 4. This weekend, Bryce Young has an opportunity. I'll tell you what that opportunity is and what he needs to do to reach out and grasp it. Coming up next, stick around.
Waking up, getting ready, sitting in traffic. Let's face it, getting to work in the morning is a lot of work. But when you get a great deal on your favorite McDonald's coffee, becoming a morning person is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now get any size refreshingly cold iced coffee for $1, a delicious mocha for $2, and a frappe for $3. Available only during breakfast hours. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Looking for serious power and a serious deal? It's truck season at Wilkinson Chevrolet GMC in Sanford, and you can get 5.9% financing for 84 months on the tough, dependable GMC Sierra 2500. Whether it's for work, play, or both, the Sierra 2500 brings the muscle, and Wilkinson makes it easy to drive one home today. See dealer for details. Hurry to Wilkinson Chevrolet GMC in Sanford or online at wilkinsoncars.com. GMC, we are professional grade.
Are you in charge of running the building maintenance plays at your workplace? If you're facing roofing issues, you gotta get RoofWorks into the game. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. You can count on us to be your MVP when it comes to taking care of your commercial building roof. We handle leaky roof repair, coatings, total replacements, upfits, and we even do commercial gutters. Let us show you what a valuable addition we are to your building maintenance team. Contact us today online at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Feeling crisp and cool out there. A little breezy. Winds coming out of the northeast about 20 to 25 miles per hour. A high 70 this afternoon. Overnight tonight, it's chilly. 49 under clear skies. But skies begin to cloud up tomorrow with a high of 71. And we'll see some showers over the weekend.
Weather brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of the Dow Jones. It is down 266.53, 46,335.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We continue to be live outside the Lenovo Center for the opener, season and home opener for the Carolina Hurricanes as they open their season against the New Jersey Devils, 7:30. Just a handful of steps from where we sit here out on the plaza. Beautiful day. Unbelievable for tailgating. Unbelievable for hockey. I'll say this. I don't get why people know that you can play hockey with this kind of tailgating weather and they still say they'd rather be in the freezing cold. But that's just me. We can have that debate another time. In the meantime, it's still football season, so we're hitting football at 4. This weekend for the Carolina Panthers, I don't think head coaches think this way, but I agree football is built this way. There is a line drawn between the offense and the defense.
Very much so.
You have your team meetings, and then you go to offense and defense meetings. And team meetings are often motivation and a little wishy-washy, a little schedule. Right? Be on the bus at this time. You go to the offense and defense meetings, you talk real stuff, right? You talk about scouting reports and game plans and everything else. The offense, and specifically Bryce Young, have a get-right game this weekend. Now, the defense has their own issues, right? The defense is going to have to deal with the Dallas Cowboys led by Dak Prescott and led by George Pickens and Javonte Williams, who North Carolina Tar Heel fans know very well.
Oh yeah.
They've got Jake Ferguson as the tight end. They're cranking, right? Don't get me wrong. Their offense is doing very well.
I think Williams is third in the league in rushing, I believe.
From a fantasy perspective, he's doing very well. As somebody that didn't pick him. But yes, he's near the top of the league in many rushing categories, both traditional and the advanced analytics love what he's doing. So the offense that's defense better strap up. Offense, and specifically Bryce Young, meaning the pass offense, the Cowboys stink.
Yeah, they do.
The Cowboys, they stink in a way that if you need a get-right game, it is good to see the Dallas Cowboys on the schedule for your offense. Now, I think that's where we have to acknowledge that the offense and defense are separate, right? If the defense gives up 42 points and Bryce Young is efficient, throws for a bunch of yards and puts up 35, you're going to feel bad because of the loss. But you do have to then have the nuance and the context to say, hopefully that sparks something with Bryce Young. I have some of the numbers here just to illustrate what I'm saying. On average, Dallas gives up 304 passing yards per game.
That's insane.
No other team in the NFL gives up 270. Gives up more than 270. I think the second was like 270.6. So that means the bad passing defenses in the league are giving up like 265, 270. And the Cowboys give up 304 passing yards. On average, they give up 2.4 passing touchdowns per game. That's third most in the NFL. And just to add on to that, they give up 0.4 rushing touchdowns to quarterbacks per game, fourth most in the NFL. So quarterbacks have had an absolute feast when playing against the Dallas Cowboys, which you look towards Bryce Young, and part of me is saying it's an opportunity for you to get right? It's an opportunity for you to get into a rhythm that you haven't been in yet. Even in wins, the volume hasn't been there. The high passing yards hasn't been there. You haven't really been the driver of the wins. But also part of me says if you can't do it against this defense, that's more real than not being able to do it against other defenses.
Yeah, they give up 3.6 touchdowns per game as a whole. The Dallas defense does.
And we just, so 2.8 of them are either passing or rushing touchdowns by the quarterback.
Yeah.
It's rare that you face a defense that is struggling like this. At times last year would have been similar to the Bengals, where an offense is that good, a defense is that bad. So opposing teams' offenses have to keep their foot on the gas, knowing that you're up against an explosive offense. And the defense is that poor that you can keep your foot on the gas and keep having success throughout the game.
Can the Panthers handle a shootout? I mean, that's the question. Dallas has no problem playing a shootout because they've basically been in that all season long.
Yeah, they're like, let's go to 2 overtimes and play to 45. That's what they like to do.
They average 30.2 points per game, which is fourth most in the NFL, but they give up 30.8, which is, like you said, one of the worst in the entire leagues. They're used to playing in the upper 20s, low 30s. That's just what they do. I don't know if Carolina can handle that.
Which sometimes I think for a player like Bryce Young, it's really nice to know on Tuesday.
Yeah.
You got to put up points.
Yeah.
It's really nice to know on Tuesday, hey, if we get down a score, if we get down 2 scores like they did against Miami, we can't use the blueprint to come back that we used against Miami. We can't stay that dedicated to the run.
No.
We can't try to nickel and dime our way back and trust the defense to hold them. So you're going to have to sling it. So you get to be put into that mind frame early on, right? Like, we're going to have to score. And it's not let's be patient. It's not let's wait for our moment. It's let's force it. And again, as a former quarterback, and I know Bryce's confidence can be up and down based on how he's been playing. I like that stuff, right? I like going into a game knowing, hey, we don't start counting till we hit 30. Like, it's how many over 30 we get is how we're going to be judged this game, because it like opens you up to, I don't want to say be reckless, but push it downfield, right? If you get a play where Tetero McMillan is your first option on something downfield, I'm not saying you stare it down and wait, but you take that extra beat to go, I'm going to give you 2 more steps to beat this guy, T-Mac. And because I know that, this throw to Mitchell Evans for 2 yards and step out of bounds isn't going to get it done, because that's not what Dak Prescott is going to do on the other side. It's a different mindset that I think they have to go into this game with. And it goes against what I think most believe this team is built to do, which is run the ball, run the ball, run the ball, trust your defense. Against Dallas, that's less plausible other than to start.
I think this is where this is my concern if it does get into a shootout mode. Because I think if Dave Canales had his choice early in the game, let's get a nice long 14-play drive. Let's grind some clock out, go up 7-0 and force Dallas to chase us. But I don't know if that's going to be a thing, because a big concern, you and I have talked about it, is the fact that they can't score quickly. They don't have the ability to score explosive plays on offense. There's only one touchdown this entire season on offense that has been more than 7 yards. That came week 1 against Jacksonville. Late. And that was a dump off to Chuba Hubbard. So that's the concern for me as well about this offense, is the fact that they don't have the explosive plays consistently enough. Yes, Rico had the 53-yarder and the 43-yarder, but that was like, oh my God, where did this come from? Because you hadn't seen it all season. Jalen Waddle catches a 46-yard touchdown pass, so you're like, that makes sense on a 3-play drive that put Miami up ahead. Dallas can do that to you. I don't know if Carolina can do that. Can they get a 40-yard touchdown? I don't see it happening with this team. That's my big concern if they get in a shootout.
Don't get me wrong. I still think plan A for the Panthers is run the ball, play defense, control
100%,
everything.
100%.
I just think against a team like Dallas, you have to abandon that earlier.
Probably.
Right? You go out with, if your defense gives up a touchdown on the first drive, I have no problem. Run the ball, pound the ball, give it to Rico Dowdle a whole bunch of times on that next drive. If it doesn't work, I don't know if you go out the second drive with the same kind of attitude of we're going to go on a 14-play grinding drive because that's what we do. Because, if Dallas gets up 2 scores, I don't care if it's 10-0. They're going to score more. Like, they're going to, because their offense is that talented, and Dak is seeing the field really, really well, and he's got some talent around him. So with that, I have the only story I really have along these lines is when I was playing in college, we played Old Dominion, ODU. And this was like Taylor Heineke era. And we had an All-American running back, and we were built to run. And I vividly remember we were kind of getting pushed around up front a little bit by ODU stacking the box. At halftime, our head coach came up and talked to me, which our head coach usually did not talk to me at halftime. It would be coordinators and position coaches. He came up and he said, "Hey, I just told," and he said our offensive coordinator's name. "We just got to throw it." And I was like, ooh, never heard that one before. Came out in the second half. They were obviously selling out to stop the run. We had a good day, ended up winning the game. And that's, would have been really nice to do that, third drive of the game or something like that. And I think that's what you have to do against the Dallas Cowboys, because, you got to make that kind of switch earlier on, and it shows confidence in Bryce. And you do kind of put in your mind, maybe, if you can't do it against this defense, we start to question whether you can, or we continue to question whether you can do it. So it's a learning process. You're taking in a bunch of information. I just want everybody to know that you might not think the Panthers will beat the Cowboys. You're not thinking that because of their defense.
Yeah.
You're thinking that because of their offense. And if the Panthers offense gets bottled up by Dallas's defense, that is a bigger sign of worry than if they got bottled up by other defenses that they've seen this year.
And another concern for Carolina as well is that, yes, I know they had the 3 sacks last game, but they don't get to the quarterback nearly often enough. They are second to last still in the NFL in terms of sack percentage. Next to last, 31st in the NFL. Now, Dallas isn't great at it either. They're 21st in the NFL. Imagine that. You get rid of, one of the best front 7 guys in the entire NFL. Imagine your pass rush stinks. Go figure. But nonetheless, Carolina doesn't get pressure on the quarterback on a consistent basis. They got 3 sacks against Miami, who stinks. Dallas's offense is going to be able to handle that pressure probably much better than what Mike McDaniel and the Miami Dolphins did this past weekend as well. Can't let Dak just sit there and throw it around. George Pickens will cook you. Jake Ferguson will cook you. I doesn't look like CeeDee Lamb is going to play this Sunday, but Lord forbid if he does, watch out. If you're not going to get pressure on the QB in the backfield or be disruptive, I don't like the way things feel going into Sunday. I really don't.
I am open. I agree with you, but I'm open to being pleasantly surprised.
As am I.
I am open to the passing offense with a different vibe being better. That's how I'm going to phrase that. I am open to it. That doesn't mean I am expecting it, but I am open to it, which is better than I've been in the past with the Panthers. A lot of times I'm like, I don't even know why I considered it.
Yeah.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are expecting to hear from, actually joining us here outside the Lenovo Center, from the GM of the Carolina Hurricanes, Eric Tulsky, later this hour. And that should be coming up in the not-too-distant future. In the meantime, Dennis has something for you.
I do. Dennis Cox for my good friends over at Law Tigers. Something that you're going to see out there on the road, especially on days like today, is you're going to see a lot of motorcycles out there on the road. And something as a motorcycle rider that you can do to make sure that you take care of your bike is actually something I did this morning with my motorcycle. Actually, I rode my motorcycle out here today. Wash your motorcycle. Clean it. Believe it or not, getting all the grime and dirt that you just accumulate when you're out there on the road, getting that stuff off just with a simple basic wash of your motorcycle actually helps protect the engine of your bike, helps protect the parts, helps protect the chassis and frame. All those kinds of things can take care of your motorcycle. That way your motorcycle can last longer, but also the last thing you want to do when you're driving down the road is just have that thing break down on you. That can spell disaster. Make sure you take care of your bike, and your bike will take care of you. But unfortunately, there are times where you're going to get injured in a motorcycle accident. Those things unfortunately do happen, and this is where Law Tigers steps in to help you. Law Tigers, your case evaluation with them, it's always free. Give them a call at 1-800-LAW Tigers. Case evaluation is always free. And speak to a Law Tigers representative even before you talk to the insurance company, and definitely before you give any sort of recorded statement to the insurance companies, because they want to give you the least amount possible. Let's be honest, insurance companies really don't work for you. Law Tigers, they do. Your case evaluation is always free. You don't pay a dime until your case settles. So call 1-800-LAW Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
And just to be fair, right, you brought up that the Cowboys are near the bottom in pressure rate.
Yeah.
And, look at that. They traded away Micah Parsons, and they don't get after the quarterback.
Imagine that.
Right now, fifth in the NFL in pressures per game, Micah Parsons.
Imagine that.
Sixth, Brian Burns. So it turns out if you trade away one of the top guys and then your pass rush isn't great, there's an interest of being fair. I didn't want to pile on the Cowboys without pointing out that the Panthers, I don't think Brian Burns is Micah Parsons by any stretch, but he is getting after the quarterback this year.
By the way, not that it matters, but he plays tonight.
He does.
That's right.
Thursday night football.
But we don't care about that because we're here at Lenovo.
Against the Eagles. I think that one will be over early. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. As I said, Eric Tulsky expected to join the show. We'll also hit some cons and cons. What are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about for the Carolina Hurricanes? We answer that question next.
The road to college football's national championship runs through 99.9 The Fan. The ACC, the SEC, the biggest matchups will be found here.
And the redshirt freshman, Kalen, direct snap, Taylor, touchdown! Virginia wins it in overtime for the second week in a row.
College football on The Fan is powered by Wake Med, Roofworks, and Wilkinson Chevrolet Cadillac GMC in Sanford.
Hello, I'm Jen, and I work in the service department with Newcomb & Company in the Triangle. I've worked at Newcomb & Company for over a decade and can tell you firsthand our comfort contract is hands down the best way to stay worry-free and comfortable in your home. In fact, the program works so well, we have over 4,000 customers who use it. Folks love it because when you sign up for the comfort contract, you get the best service Newcomb offers. We prioritize contract members with same-day service, priority scheduling, and emergency after-hours calls. So there's no waiting when your system needs help. On top of that, Newcomb & Company is a proud independent train dealer. We back exceptional train products with our expert service, and we treat your home like it's our own. It's hard to stop a train, and it's hard to beat Newcomb & Company service. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com to learn more about our comfort contract. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Tim, I'm receiving an important update.
Ooh, are you getting night vision?
No. I just found out you could get $200 with Navy Federal Credit Union when you refinance your auto loans from another lender.
So, no night vision?
No night vision.
Learn more at NavyFederal.org/auto loans. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA. Credit and collateral subject to approval. Refinance loan must be at least $5,000 to be eligible for the $200. Terms and conditions apply.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code WARM to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WARM for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code WARM for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We are outside the Lenovo Center, the home for the Carolina Hurricanes. They play tonight, real hockey, regular season hockey against the New Jersey Devils, their season opener. It's also a good time to remind you to both download the app, 99.9 The Fan, the app. You can catch all your Canes content there, but not just Canes, all the other local teams that you care about as well. And there's giveaways going on there. College football tickets. We gave away a signed jersey. There were concert tickets. So go to, there's a tab there about how to win stuff. Check it out, 99.9 The Fan. Download it, Google Play and App Store. It's still very new and it's still very awesome. So I encourage you all to check it out. And then once you download it, please give us 5-star ratings in the Google Play and App Store. Review, all those good things. We'd appreciate it. And you can follow us on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, 99.9 The Fan there as well. We are nearing 20,000 subscribers. Yeah. And when we get to 20,000 subscribers, just a couple hundred away now, we will I know what we're giving away, and it's awesome, and you want to get there. So tell your friends to subscribe.
152.
152 away.
152. Let's go, people. We should have that by the end of we should have that by puck drop.
Make it happen, Captain.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so go ahead and subscribe there. Once we get the next 152 subscribers, we will give away something awesome. I know what it is, and I know it's awesome. I just can't tell you what it is. With that being said, it's time for a little cons and cons, so let's fire that up.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else.
That starts with a W.
Confidence.
What are you most confident in? What are you most concerned about? Cons and cons. Every week about this time, we put a different team, or sometimes the same team, into that question machine, and we answer it. And of course, today, we're throwing the Carolina Hurricanes in there. Yes. One might call it Hurricans and cons.
Let's go.
What are you most concerned about? What are you most confident about? As always, I've got good news and bad news. Which do you want first? You take the bad news. So we'll start with concerns. Dennis, why don't you lead us off?
My concern is going forward, does Logan Stankoven take a full grasp of that number 2 center spot? Because I think if he does take a full grasp of that position, it really is going to impact the moves that this franchise can do come trade deadline if they need to make moves, which are anticipating that they possibly can.
If he doesn't grasp it, it makes it very obvious what move they
exactly. But then also there's the trickle down effect of it. So if he takes a hold of that number 2 center spot, that really allows them to go, hey, you know what? We just need to go after just a goalie, or like, you know what, we can add another middle 6 winger or whatever it is to kind of add depth, whatever it might be. Or if there's an injury, you can kind of compensate for that in that regard. If it's kind of shaky, you know where he can work perfectly on the wing and who he can skate well with. But that market for that number 2 center, that it's still going to be a high price tag to get a number 2 center even during the season, especially when you look at us like a team like the Florida Panthers. Alexander Barkov is out with that ACL and MCL injury. He might not be available come the playoffs as well. So that's a big time thing for them, because maybe they need to go get another center to add depth into their lineup come trade deadline. So that just adds just one more team in the mix that's looking for someone down the middle. If he takes a full grasp of that position, then you don't have to worry about it going forward. Then you can be all in to go get a goalie or whatever it is that you want.
And there's 100%, like, the market will be more robust at the deadline. There will be teams suffering injuries at center. There's never been an NHL season where no centers get hurt. So it will be more competition at the deadline.
I think he could do it, by the way.
I was just going to say, I almost want it to be like really good or obviously not working.
Yeah.
It's like if he's playing the fence is where it gets tough, because then you keep trying it, you keep thinking. We know he can be a really good winger, right? And it's almost like I want it to work or not work, because if it doesn't work and it's obvious, 2 weeks from now, put him at wing and work on figuring out 2C. If it works, awesome. Boom, start planning as if you have your second line center for the next 8 years. And if it's right there, like maybe it's working, is where it becomes difficult and you got to make tough decisions. My concern is where I think a lot of people are going to be, goalie.
Yeah.
I trust Pyotr Kochetkov, I think, more than most. Freddie Anderson, when healthy, I'm very comfortable with.
Yeah.
Those are two things that I'm not sure every fan agrees with me on, but I'll also say this. It's not great that you're starting the season with one of them not able to play.
Yeah.
Pyotr Kochetkov not available today after getting nicked up is, I think, the term we were given. And it's just, the Canes know goalies get hurt, and it's happened, and you got to play a bunch of them a bunch of years. And it's one of those things where I don't think it's a surprise. I don't think anybody's like, oh, they need a goalie. It's just they don't grow on trees.
No, they don't.
They're highly coveted. Teams that have them don't like to let them go. So there's not a lot of options to answer that. They have prospects. They have cap space. Like it's not that's holding them back. I just think they like Kochetkov and they like Anderson, and maybe it's just about getting lucky that they're both in form and healthy when the season gets to the nitty gritty. But I can't lie to you and say that I won't be concerned about it throughout the season. I also like runner-up, third pair defense, Nikishin and Gostisbehere. Just how they fit is something I'm going to be watching.
Sure.
I would have liked to have had Nikishin skating with somebody that isn't offhand or maybe can cover for him a little bit more. Gostisbehere is a true pro, veteran, all of that, but his skills are more offensive and he's offhand, so it's going to be a little different.
But it's something that he's done before. So that's the thing. It's something that he's super comfortable and he's done before. Let's get into confidence.
Let's do it.
Confidence, I love because of the depth of their lineup. I love the versatility that Rod can do to move things around. For example, if Stankoven isn't working at center, he fits in perfectly alongside Martin Stahl. That works perfectly well, because we've seen it happen before.
Yeah.
And you won't miss a beat. You could put Jackson Blake with those two, and you don't miss a beat. The fact that you have versatility throughout your lineup, if you want to move Ehlers between Stankoven and Jackson Blake and put Svech up there with Aho and Jarvis, there's so much versatility in their lineup that Rob Brind'Amour at any given night can shuffle things around, or even during the course of the game can shuffle things around. Or Lord forbid, someone gets hurt. If Alexander Ovechkin accidentally hurts Andrei Svechnikov again, this except when they play Washington. See, I saved it. So let's say that happens. You can move Taylor Hall up, and you don't miss a beat. You don't have to worry about that. I think that's something that can. Even Mark Jankowski has versatility of where he can play in the bottom six of the lineup as well. So having that versatility and the depth of your lineup allows Rod Brind'Amour to do so much. And you know what? If things do get bad, if you have a couple of injuries, guess what? You can bring up a Bradley Nadeau or a Giovanni Smith without a problem, and you don't miss a beat.
I almost don't want to say this for the superstitious people out there. There are very few less than if an injury takes someone off the ice for, I would say, less than 4 weeks.
Yeah.
There's very few that I would be super bent out of shape about, because I'd go, no, you've planned for this. You have depth for this. Just a goalie, obviously a separate beast. But you can withstand most outside of the few obvious names. My confidence, and I think this could just be me going ooh, shiny object. The top line.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's, the right answer is right under your nose. Aho centering Jarvis and Ehlers to me is really exciting. It's just really exciting. It's guys that get it. It's guys that do all the little things. It's guys that play with a high hockey IQ. And I look forward to what. And by the way, this is my theme for the day. It's the first game. I I look forward to watching them get better alongside each other.
Yeah.
I want to see them tonight, and I want to see them a month from now, and I want to see them a month from then, and I want to see how they, get that freaky thing where I don't have to see you to know where you are, and I don't have to double check, and when you get the puck there, you like to do this, and that means I can do that. Like I want them to continue to grow alongside each other because I think there's a ton of talent there, and I think from what I've seen of Ehlers, and obviously we're going to get to know him more and more in a Canes uniform, I think they see the game similarly, and that just makes me excited for what that top line can do. And obviously I hope they get the opportunity to play a whole bunch of minutes on the ice together, and they can do all of that developing that I was just talking about.
By the way, Nikolaj Ehlers is getting a lot of love in terms of first goal scorer predictions. I just in general, we'll go through some first goal scorer predictions as we wait for Eric Tulsky to be joining us here in a couple minutes. So we've had Jackson Blake first goal scorer on a one-timer 12 minutes into the game. That comes from Rodney.
Real quickly here, if you're giving first goal scorer predictions on Twitter at Donnelly Sports, I asked for them on Twitter or in our YouTube live stream, which is where Dennis is asking these in the comments. All you need to give is a player's name and the period in which they score, right? Could be as simple as Aho in the first.
Yeah.
I like specificity.
Well, of course.
If you want to give me, Miller forces the takeaway and ahead to whoever, and then they, a tip by so-and-so on the next, whatever. I want details if possible. So I always give a little extra love there.
All right. So we also have... So Jackson Blake from Rodney said Jackson Blake first goal scoring a one-timer 12 minutes in. Brandon says Jarvis in the first period on a breakaway, which I really enjoyed seeing that as well. Talia says Jarvis late in the first period as well. We also have from Tom, Stankoven in the first period. Also, he gave 2 bold predictions.
I like bold predictions
Real bold predictions. Bold prediction, Aho, 110 points this season.
110? I think I got credit for a bold prediction for 100.
Yeah,
110.
Also, Jarvis 40-goal season.
That's it's a popular bold prediction.
I'm 100% in on Jarvis 40-goal season this year as well. Also, Jackson says, give me Stahl in the first, assisted by Martinook. Then Smokey says, give me Martinook first goal today.
Just the most Canes goal on the planet, just Canesy.
Comebred and Austin both said Andrei Svechnikov in the first period as well.
Do you know what's interesting? And for those of you that listened to the show the last couple of seasons, we've been doing these first goal scorer predictions for a while now. I study the answers and look for trends and things.
Yeah.
First game, there's a lot of what I think of classic Canes goals. There's a lot of Aho from Jarvis. There's a lot of Stahl and Martinook. The further we get into the season, the more frisky people get. If it's going to be Jarvis, it's going to be Jarvis shorthanded.
Of course.
If it's going to be Martinook, it's going to be Martinook, sliding towards from his stomach. There's always we get all the quote unquote boring goals out of the way early in the year with our first goal scorer predictions, and then by the end of the year, it's Chatfield from center ice, backhanded, and I'm like, all right, I like it.
It's going to ram it off the stanchion, past the goalie. CK said Ehlers in the first period. D. Ely says Slavin in the second period.
I'd like that. I think Slavin has untapped offensive potential.
For sure.
But you never want to criticize him because he plays so well elsewhere. You almost don't want to mess with it.
And John says he's going to go with Blake to Jarvis in the first period for the first goal today.
Blake is one we haven't talked about enough. Jackson Blake, rookie year last year, started off talk about Bradley Nadeau. Obviously, the Canes had a certain plan for everything. And the gentleman that had that certain plan is walking our way right now, Eric Tulsky. But Jackson Blake went from a rookie trying to establish himself with the Carolina Hurricanes to now he's a guy on a long-term contract and a guy who is, expected to be part of the core for the Carolina Hurricanes and is a part of the core for the Carolina Hurricanes. So I like that a lot of the fan base is very excited about Jackson Blake and potentially contributing to a first goal.
Also, Adam in our YouTube live chat said KK in the first period.
There's a lot of I will say some creative spellings of the last name, Kochetkov, but I get there when they post it.
KK works.
KK works. Absolutely. And as promised now, Eric Tulsky is walking up, and he's just going to walk up and come right on air. How's it going, Eric? Fantastic. Go ahead and grab that headset. The GM of the Carolina Hurricanes here on opening night outside the Lenovo Center has taken the time to walk outside with us. Because don't want you falling backwards a little bit. It's the chair gets a little loose.
We'll catch you, Eric. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. Eric, first of all, thank you for the time.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Opening day, pretty rare excitement of any calendar day in sports, right? So we appreciate you taking the time to come out here. Looking back at the offseason, obviously you started with maybe a to-do list or things you wanted to do. Did you get all or most of those things checked off the list by today?
Yeah, I mean, I would say we'd always want to do more. We're never satisfied. But yeah, I mean, being able to bring in Andrei and Ehlers, like we added 2 really high-end pieces. And then
Don't mind me. I'm just going to move this a little bit closer.
No worries.
There you go.
And then we were able to fill out our depth a little bit and feel good about where we are right now.
One of the stories coming into this season is Logan Stankoven getting the shot at second line center. Was that always part of, like, when you traded for him from Dallas, was it always with the anticipation that somewhere along the line he might take that shot to move into the middle?
I would say we knew it was a possibility. Don't know that I would say it was the plan. It's hard to plan that far ahead, but we knew it was something he's capable of and interested in, and something to give a shot to.
What makes him somebody who, obviously with his height, is kind of a non-traditional center? What makes him somebody that you do give that chance to?
Yeah, I mean, he plays really hard. He's got a defensive conscience. He understands what he's supposed to do. He can take care of the responsibilities that are handed to him. And then the way we play defensively, we're not a team that just has the center stand in front of the net and wrestle. We're chasing all over the zone. And so it's not the traditional position where you need somebody that is just a physical monster. He's going to be in a position where he's going to be skating all over the ice and covering down low and covering up high. And, he's capable of that. And it's on the breakouts and other things. Like, he knows the routes to run. He knows how to do his job, and he's competitive. And I think he'll be okay.
Is that where the league is going from what you've seen? We're kind of like, really it's just 3 forwards. It's kind of positionless in a sense.
I mean, everybody does it differently.
Yeah.
But that is always been how we've operated. There's certainly different responsibilities when you get into a set. But the way we play, we do not have that sort of traditional 2 defensemen in the center in front of the net and 2 wingers out at the point. It's much more sort of free-flowing, trying to react to where the puck goes and make sure we're covering.
We're talking with Eric Tulsky, Canes GM, outside the Lenovo Center here on opening night. When it comes to negotiating these long-term contracts, and it seems like you have everybody on the roster under a long-term contract, were you anticipating some of the deals we've seen recently and almost going, once they see the Kaprizov or whoever it is deal, everybody's going to want more money, so let's get these done at the beginning of the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't so much about any one contract. You never know how anything's going to go, but the cap's about to go up really fast. And if we can get players committed here long-term, that helps us, right? We now have some cost certainty as the salary cap space explodes. That just creates more and more room for us to keep adding to the roster.
When you're looking at this roster, I asked some fans for a question for you, and there were, I will say, a smaller group, but they were very loudly asking this question. Why isn't Bradley Nadeau on the opening roster for the NHL season?
Yeah, I mean, he's been really good. He's done what we wanted. He has an incredible shot. He's a great scorer. He would help our power play immediately. He's still young. There's things he can work on, right? And he needs to get his game to a place where he can play consistent minutes for us night in, night out. You don't want to bring him up and have him playing 6 or 8 minutes and, scratched every other night. Like, that's not what he needs right now. What he needs is to play and get to where he's, a little bit stronger along the walls, a little bit more anticipatory in the D zone, just to where he can play that, 13, 15 minutes every night. And then we'll get him into the lineup.
Speaking of top prospects getting their shot, how's Alexander Nikishin's English, which I feel like we talked so much about last year during the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, it's coming along. He can have a conversation. He's, you would not think that he was born and raised in Raleigh yet, but he's coming along.
He'll fit, right?
He will fit, yeah.
From a game perspective, from an on the ice perspective, what do you expect from him as he gets his first real chunk of NHL play in North America?
Yeah, I mean, the talent is obvious. So the ceiling is very high. It's just a question of how fast he can adapt. And the way we ask people to play is different from the way most teams in the NHL play and very different from the way most teams in the KHL play. And so it's just sort of like he has habits, he has a way he's played his whole life, and having to get used to playing a different way will take time. And we don't know until he's in there whether that time is going to be a couple days, couple weeks, couple months. I don't know. So that's what's in front of him. We know he'll get there eventually. Like, the talent is undeniable.
We're talking with Eric Tulsky, Canes GM. One of the big stories, I keep saying the big story, but there's like 7 things you could describe as the big story going into opening night. Nikolaj Ehlers. From your perspective, how do you judge a successful season? Like, if we talk to you when the postseason's getting started, what would make you say, like, what a great year for Nikolaj Ehlers?
Yeah, I mean, what we're hoping to get from him is someone who can help us sort of turn puck possession into offense. And whether the puck goes in or not on any given night, like, I try not to get too hung up on that. But we want him to be someone who creates scoring chances night after night, whether that's on his own stick or someone else's. We want him to be driving offense. And he's got the ability to he has dynamic skating. He's good with the puck. He has good vision. He has the ability to take those sort of routine plays and make scoring chances appear that wouldn't have been there otherwise. And that's what we want to see from him on a consistent basis.
Have you seen, it's almost a meme now, the meme of you on the laptop in the arena? One of the things that I seem to, or I obviously don't have any access behind the scenes, but I love that it seems like you're involved in every conversation, right? Everything around the league, you're in the mix, right? Whether you're actually making a play or not, I don't know. How do you do that? Are you calling like every other GM, like every couple of days? Like, is it that diligent? Like, how is basically what I'm getting at there.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. I try to be on the phone, most of the day, honestly. One of the things that we hate most in life is when there's a trade and we look at it and say, why didn't they call us? We would have paid more than that. And it drives me nuts.
I agree.
So the only way I can avoid that is if I'm checking in every so often and saying, hey, what are you doing? What are you thinking about? Hey, we'd be interested in that. Let me look at what we could do. And so, I try to stay really active and make sure that I'm aware of what's going on, and don't want to miss a chance to make the team better.
Do the other GMs take to that, or do you, like my wife thinks I'm talking to Eric Tulsky too much? Like does that kind of thing come up?
Yeah, I don't think I'm talking to anyone enough that their families get annoyed by it. It's we have a good relationship. We try to chat. I go on the road with the team and try and sit down with the other GM there and build the relationship, take them out to lunch, like whatever, just trying to spend time with people and make sure I have that relationship so that, when I call, they're happy to talk to me.
So along those lines, because the rules now with the new collective bargaining agreement about how there's the postseason salary cap, and just how teams were able to circumvent the cap with long-term IR, but now that that's all changed. How does that affect you and how you handle when it comes to we've got X amount of dollars in cap space and we can make these certain moves, but when the postseason rolls around, we can't field that roster potentially fully. How does that impact potentially what you do during the season?
Yeah, so for the position we're in, we have enough cap space right now that I don't expect that to be a problem.
Yeah.
We're going into the season with more than 10 million of space, and it's unlikely we're adding more than 10 million of players during the season.
For sure.
So we should be fine. What's interesting about it is other teams that are closer to the cap might find that limiting.
Mm-hmm.
And so there might be less competition for players, right?
Okay.
You could find teams saying, hey, we'd love to add this guy, but then we're just going to have to sit this other guy, and what's the point? And so we'll see. It's the first time through. We don't know how it'll play out, but I won't be shocked if the market's a little bit softer than usual because some teams just don't have the space to make the ads they would normally make.
Okay, I like hearing that. For the Canes perspective, I like hearing that, Eric. I really do.
What'd you think of Seth Jarvis on Amazon on the Face Off documentary?
I mean, he's great. He's a great personality, and I'm excited that we had the opportunity to get him featured and let a national audience see what he's like and how he is. He's a fun person, and it just shows like the camera loves him, and he's a party, and it's good to get America in on his party.
He's a party. I like that description of Jarvis. Last one for you. Do you mind playing a game that we play on game day all the time?
I don't know. What's the game?
First goal scorer predictions. Can you pick a player and a period? Anyone obviously on the roster, and it's just bragging rights and then everything else that comes along with it.
Oh no, that's a tough one. I love all my children equally.
That's fair.
If I pick one of them, I've got 17 guys mad at me that I didn't pick. Maybe 18. I don't know how Freddie feels about it.
Well, you can pick Freddie. Hey, pick Freddie. Then it hits. That's bragging rights for life.
Might need to make that bet.
But first period, right? I mean, that's,
for sure.
There you go. Everyone's happy with that.
Of course. Yeah.
Eric, we appreciate you taking the time, jumping out here, and good luck this season, and obviously tonight on opening night.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Once again, that is Eric Tulsky, Canes GM. We'll be back with more here outside the Lenovo Center on the drive. We're expecting to hear from Walt Ruff in a second, Canes team reporter. Dennis, do you have something you need to tell everybody?
I do. Dennis Cox here for my friends over. You can go say bye to Eric real fast. But Dennis Cox here real quick for my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Something that I've been able to do over the last 10 weeks is actually do the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and I've lost 40 pounds. That's right, 40 pounds. For those of you maybe watching online, this jersey that I'm wearing is fitting much more loose than it did about 2 months ago. And that's something I've noticed. It's just that the physical change of losing 40 pounds has just been absolutely noticeable. My pants and my clothes fit so much more loose now. And one thing that I've actually noticed a difference in just my everyday quality of life, just sitting down feels more comfortable. I ride my motorcycle and it just feels more comfortable being out there on the road. Just simple things like that throughout my daily life have gotten so much better thanks to the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And if you are thinking about getting on that journey of weight loss, I encourage you so much to visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or give them a call, 919-897-7506. Again, 919-897-7506. And set up a free 15-minute phone call with Raleigh Weight Loss Center. It's a free 15-minute phone call. You can ask any questions that you have. If you have concerns about the program, ask those questions. If you have any sort of medical history, hey, does this fit with what I have going on? Have those questions answered. That way you can go forward with confidence. And that's exactly what Raleigh Weight Loss Center wants you to do, to be confident in the weight loss journey. 919-897-7506 or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Set up that free 15-minute consultation. Results may vary.
We're going to hear from Walt Ruff, Canes team reporter, who's walking over here right now. Right after this, stick around.
The Adam Gold Show.
Look, Bradley Nadeau had a great preseason. I thought he was really impressive other than the first game. He scored 3 goals, actually 4, even though one was chalked off for being offside. And I think we got a glimpse of the future. Even though he's going to start the season with the Chicago Wolves in the American Hockey League, I think we got a glimpse of somebody who's going to be with the Hurricanes sooner rather than later and will be part of their future.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, watching your hard-earned money vanish every month? Stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases. And here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait. Rates this low won't last. Call Loan Pronto now for your free, no-obligation quote. Loan Pronto is amazing. Imagine lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let the high rates hold you back. Call 919-381-1760 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. I almost want to say, you hear that music, you know who's joining us.
Hey, acknowledge this, man.
It is Walt Ruff, Canes team reporter, outside the Lenovo Center for opening night here tonight. Walt, appreciate the time.
Hold up. I didn't realize Walt had a theme song. We have to do this for the Adam Gold show, okay? Walt, you got to tell me this stuff, buddy.
Sorry, Victoria.
Yeah, it's like giving yourself a nickname. He can't tell you that he has a theme song. You have to find out organically. But Walt, he deserves a theme song, and that's why we brought him out here on opening night and as often as we can when we're out here on the Lenovo Center Plaza. We just talked about it. You've been, deep in this season's prep for a month, and now opening night is here. So I'm sure you've been thinking about the new guys as much as anybody else has. I'm going to try to frame this in a way that hasn't been said over and over again. We'll start with Nikolaj Ehlers. Rather than talking about what you expect from him, what does he do for Aho and Jarvis on that top line? What maybe more do you expect to see out of 2 guys we're really familiar with but are now playing with someone else?
Yeah, that is a really good way to frame it because it's going to give them a little bit of a different style player. You know, we've heard for even prior to July 1st that he was the perfect fit for this Carolina Hurricanes team, right? How long have we been hearing that, guys? Now he's finally here. But he's not an identical player to the guys who we've seen on that top line in the past, and Andrei Svechnikov and Jackson Blake, some of those other previous characters. And that's okay. That's a good thing, right? You want to have a little bit of diversity to your skill set. So I think we're all looking forward to seeing how Nikolaj Ehlers' speed works out on that line, right? That's priority number 1. But we know he can put the puck in the net too. So how does he mesh those things together? It might take a little bit, as we've seen with some marquee players who have come in over the last couple of years. It's not always instant success, but I think the fact that you're starting those 3 guys together, the 3 who will probably have the best chance of being together for most of the year, I think it's a good time to finally see what we can do in real game action here tonight.
Is it kind of like when Gensel was brought in?
A little bit.
Like,
a little bit.
Kind of similar in the skill set, similar build. But I think Ehlers is a little bit, he is faster. I think he holds on to pucks even better.
You have 3 legitimate options on that line, right? And that's not to say that in the past there haven't always been, but you got to be mindful of where all 3 of those guys are on the ice. And how much do we talk about Rod Brindamore playing the matchup game? And I know that we normally don't get into that a whole heck of a lot until the playoff time, but if you're an opposing team's 4th line and you get stuck out against Nikolaj Ehlers, Sebastian Aho, and Seth Jarvis, that's the panic zone right there.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's not like, okay, we got to keep an eye on this guy. You're in trouble.
Well, how do you feel if it's the second line and Logan Stankoven is the center? It looks like the first kind of run at it's going to have Blake and Svech on there. So much talk about Logan Stankoven getting, that shot at a position that has been talked about so aggressively. But again, I'll frame it the other way. What do you want to see from Svech and Blake, who maybe have to take on a little bit more or less depending on what Logan Stankoven's bringing in the middle?
I'd love to see the 3 of them unlock another level of creativity. Whenever we talk about Jackson Blake, we talk about his creativity largely because of what we saw from him at the USHL level and the NCAA level. We saw most of it during the first year, but I think there's even more there, right? Like, he's just a fearless cat. I think here, you want a hot take? We were speaking before the segment began. I think we're going to see Jackson Blake try a lacrosse style attempt goal this year. Like, just has that in his mind.
He's got that twinkle in his eye.
Yes, he does. And he has the ability to pull it off. So and obviously Andrei can do it in his sleep at this point, right, too? And you're going to have Logan Stankoven's speed coming up the middle of the ice. So creativity is the word that comes to mind when I think about those 3 playing together.
How does Blake change now, going from the rookie trying to establish himself in the NHL to the second-year core player with a long-term contract and complete stability?
Well, he's got that stability too, right? And he has a better understanding of what this league is. He's not coming in a little bit dark. It's such a big jump going from the NCAA to the NHL without playing in the minor leagues, the pro level. So he figured it out on the fly last year. We saw him in a little bit more of a protected role, right? He started the year in the bottom half of the lineup and then gradually worked his way up. I think it was January 17th was his first game on the top line. And we saw him there for most of the remaining of the regular season and the playoffs as well. So now he's going to have that shot to be in the air quotes top 6 from the get-go. And you hope he continues to run with that opportunity as well.
Don't let Walt fool. You think it was January 17th. This is Walt Ruff. That's why you get a theme song, right? Not mid-July. I think it might have been January 17th. It was a 7:30 puck drop.
Walt game.
I think it might have been in Vegas, but I don't remember.
See?
He knows
That's
his
you
stuff.
stumped on him there,
That's
Walt.
why he is who he is. Walt Ruff, team reporter, joining us here outside the Lenovo Center. Jump into the future, right? And maybe it's Blake, but I want to give you the opportunity to go in whatever direction you want. Regular season just ended. What was the biggest positive surprise for the Carolina Hurricanes?
Wow. Here's one for you that maybe we're not considering, but we should be. The team stayed healthy this year. Wouldn't that be
Would love
nice?
it. Put that energy into the universe.
Yeah, let's try, right? I mean, there's so much talk about how this team can be altered with one injury, and a lot of people think about the goaltending component. Obviously, we're missing Pyotr Kochetkov tonight, right? So it's kind of an unavoidable topic. Frederik Andersen's got to stay healthy, or else we're looking at putting a NHL debut in between the pipes, and that's not to say that the organization doesn't believe in Brandon Bussi. They went out and acquired him for a reason after Keaton Primo had a really good preseason, so but good health. It's got to be good health because, yes, the team has depth, but you don't want to dip your toes into too much of that pool. We've seen long call-up stints from guys in previous years, and Juha Jaska and Tyson Jost, who's no longer with the organization. So you'd love to see everybody stay healthy.
Actually, that was one of the questions I had for you. I do my best to stay up on everything, but when they acquire someone like Brandon Bussi, I'm kind of going, all right, well, first thing I need to do is figure out how to pronounce that last name, and then we'll go from there. What can you tell us about Bussi, who obviously will be dressed and as every backup is, one play away tonight?
Yeah, I had to do the same, I'll be honest, over the last couple of days. I mean, he was an AHL All-Star in 2023, but when it comes to the last name, you got to go to YouTube and just look up some clips. I mean, we're looking up Western Michigan stuff, some Providence AHL stuff, so shout out to those broadcasters for keeping us in the loop. He's been a good AHL goaltender the last couple of years. He's been with the Boston Bruins organization, thought he was getting kind of a fresh start in his career this year, going to the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. Like anybody, you never know when an injury is going to arise and you can make the trek. Now, fortunately for him, he was on his way to Charlotte, North Carolina, where the Panthers AHL affiliate is, and decided to pull an detour, what's that, 64 East? He just kind of started making his way this way. So, pretty fortuitous to the fact that he's, not heading somewhere ridiculous like Calgary of the American League or something. But I'm eager to see, if we do see him, we'll find out tomorrow a little bit more on Pyotr Kochetkov's status. But given the precaution that's been taken with some of the injuries that we've seen in camp thus far, you can almost kind of presume that Kochetkov probably won't be available on Saturday, and then the team goes away for 2 weeks. So if you're Brandon Bussi, you're probably thinking you're going to get on the plane at this point. And yes, that the spacing in between games would potentially allow Frederik Andersen to play all 6. I don't think that's going to be the case. So you're going to need him at some point. You need a second goaltender. You need a third goaltender. If you're this organization in previous years, you need 5. You need 6. Hopefully that's not the case this year. But if Brandon Bussi does get between the pipes, the organization went out and got him for a reason.
We haven't seen, to kind of switch gears here, we haven't seen Andrei Miller during the preseason. How much does that or does that not matter?
I'll shoot it straight. I think it does matter. Look at some of the defensemen who have come in and been expected to play prominent roles in years past, and Dmitry Orlov and Brent Burns. It took time for those guys. And much like Andrei Miller, those were really good defensemen before they came to the Carolina Hurricanes. It's just a different system to adapt to. And I know that Andrei's in a good position skating alongside Jalen Chatfield, the guy who's got the system down, who's earned his way into the system after coming over as kind of a second chance prospect a couple years ago from the Vancouver Canucks. I think it does matter, though. Looking around the NHL the last couple nights, I've been fascinated to hear, and part of the reason why I asked Rod Brindamore about it yesterday was New York Rangers captain JT Miller, I think, only played in 1, maybe 2 preseason games, and after the first game, he was talking about how his legs felt heavy and he didn't feel good at shooting it straight, right? Like, if you don't get in a preseason game, this kind of is your preseason, except it really counts. So I think it does matter. You just hope to mitigate some of the potential errors that could come along with your first game in a system and it being a meaningful hockey game. But Andrei is a smart guy, so I'm hoping he can figure it out on the fly.
You know what time it is. It is first goal scorer prediction time. You've done this enough. You know the deal. Who scores the first goal for the Canes and in what period?
Love this question. Was checking out some of the YouTube comments a couple moments ago with what some other people were saying. I'm going to go with another defenseman. I know I feel like I always say that on this show, but let's talk about another guy who's got a tremendous opportunity this year.
I think I know who you're going to say. Say it.
Say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Sean Walker. My
yes.
man.
Yes.
Dennis and I are aligned on that one. You're playing with the best defensive defenseman in all of hockey. We see how he facilitates the puck in the offensive zone. Sean Walker getting an elevated opportunity this season. First pair, second power play unit. Let's see it.
Are you going first period?
Yes.
Yes. I had a
Yes.
feeling, but I wanted to double check.
First 10 minutes.
First 10 minutes. I like
Yes.
that as well.
Get it.
Second person to Paul Ihander of also on our network.
Love Paul.
Also signaled he went with Ehlers, but he said first period,
Man,
and
wouldn't
then
that be something?
and then took a second and said first 10 minutes as well.
Love it.
Both of you looking for that first little burst.
By the way, real quick on Sean Walker. I know we only got a minute here, but I feel like we're going to see his offensive production go up this year, just playing more minutes in general, but playing alongside Slavin. It's like Slavin's over there.
Yeah.
I can make a risk, but then also getting some power play time. I think we can honestly see a 30-point season from a guy like Sean Walker, like 10 and 20. I think we legit can see that from him.
Definitely. I right there with you. We talked about Jackson Blake unlocking a new layer of creativity with his opportunity. I think much the same as Sean Walker.
Love it.
Well, we appreciate it. We'll keep following along, and good luck this season as you head into the real stuff, the regular season.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you both. And not to count our chickens before they hatch, but looking forward to being out here with you again and during a sunny mid-April day.
I sounds good from your lips to the hockey god's ears. That's Walt Ruff, Canes team reporter. We'll be back with the starting five coming up next.
Miller Lending.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and New Jersey.
Kochetkov shoots and scores! Svechnikov puts it onto the tape, and Kochetkov whistles it past Tarasov.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7:30.
Shot up for the score on the power play. Logan Stankoven with the net front.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending and, of course, Gordon Miller, the home of the no closing cost loan. Listen, if your rate right now starts with a 7 or you locked it in at something even higher than that at the peak of the market, you want to call up Miller Lending. They have something called a no-cost loan, and that includes refis. It includes your initial mortgage when you buy a house, but it also includes refis. And what it does is it allows you to potentially lower your rate with no cost to you. No cost, no fees, no money out of your pocket. And when I say no, I mean no. That's zero means zero. And they don't just rename it something else. They don't take your closing costs and call it a finishing surcharge. No, zero means zero. So if you want that lower rate, if you want that lower monthly payment, you need to call Miller Lending and see if they can help you out. The number to call, 919-447-3377. Of course, it is locally owned. You'll be talking to somebody right here in Cary in the Triangle. 919-447-3377. You can also visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, that is millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. Back with more of The Drive next.
It's Bo time. Fumbling the food on game day? Rookie move. But you know Bo can make your tailgate a winner, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Because the Carolina Legend has everything you're craving. We're talking crispy, juicy chicken loaded with real Southern flavor, fluffy, scratch-made buttermilk biscuits, and all the fixins to feed your whole crew faster than you could say touchdown. Be the MVP this season and let Bojangles do the cooking. Order your tailgate today. It's Bo time.
Planning a tailgate? Then it's Bo time. Bojangles has everything you need for the perfect tailgate, no matter how many fans you're trying to feed. There's the original tailgate, the super tailgate, and for a really big crowd, the jumbo tailgate special. And if you like your chicken off the bone, choose the Supreme's tailgate special that includes 12 perfectly seasoned tenderloin fillets. So grab the tickets, get that Bojangles tailgate special, and go. It's Bo time.
One last exhale.
Fitting, isn't it? The final shot at the Championship 4 comes down to a track that's been here from day one. Martinsville. Close quarters, tight corners, and a fan experience that brings you so close to the action, all of the mayhem will be right at your fingertips. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Now that it's hot outside, everybody's spending more time outside. And I have noticed that there are people that have gutter issues, whether there's stuff still stuck up there or a gutter hanging off the house. You can help.
Absolutely, Adam. And let me tell you this. If you're looking up and it looks like a garden in your gutters, you need to call the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. We have the gutter helmet, which will keep you from cleaning out the inside of your gutters for as long as you own the home. We can also replace the existing gutters. We can replace any rotten wood. We're a one-stop shop company that can take care of all your home improvement needs, whether it's gutters, windows, siding, doors, roofing. We really can turnkey the whole project and make an easy, comfortable payment through some of our 12-month interest-free financing options, and then you get a lifetime warranty at the end of it all.
12 months interest-free?
You heard that right.
12 months interest-free. AluminumCompany.com.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, injury lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it. Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
They score! Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
WRAL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. A beautiful fall day out there today, and it turns cool overnight tonight. We'll have mainly clear skies tonight. We'll get down into the upper 40s. Heading into Friday, more clouds roll in. It's a breezy day, but it should stay dry with a high of 69.
Forecast brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of the Dow Jones. It is down 243.36, 46,358.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We continue to be live outside the Lenovo Center where we've been all day. And as I like to update everybody, the energy is rising. There is a rare, unique type of energy at an arena before a big game. And something like opening night for the Carolina Hurricanes, which is tonight against the Devils, 7:30 puck drop. It's a special kind of deal here. And it is uniquely Southern hockey, which I appreciate in that you can tailgate, you can be outside, you can be in a short sleeve, and you can go in and watch a elite hockey team play. So with that being said, our starting five today is a little different than it usually is, right? It's like a themed starting five. Rather than what we traditionally do, where we hit topics all over the sports world and we rapid fire it, today's starting five are the five biggest storylines going into Carolina Hurricanes season, and they're all about the Carolina Hurricanes. So with that being said, we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Part of me did want to make this just Jalen Chatfield because number 5 and go category 5. But it's not just Jalen Chatfield, who's one of my favorite players to root for. It's the blue line pairings. One, Sean Walker getting kind of the call up to the top line with Jacob Slavin. I think there is another level for Sean Walker playing alongside somebody like Jacob Slavin. It obviously frees him up, but also, right, just you raise to the level of your playing partner a little bit there. The second line is going to be one of the more dynamic line, or second pairing, I should say, one of the more dynamic pairings that I've seen with Jalen Chatfield and Keandre Miller. Although early in the season, I think maybe we temper our expectations a little bit for all of the reasons that we just heard from Walt Ruff, in that Keandre Miller didn't get to skate in the preseason. Jalen Chatfield also didn't skate in preseason games, and the Canes system is notoriously one that takes a little bit of an on-ramp, right? Takes 15, 20 games before you truly feel comfortable. So, Keandre Miller starting from a position of kind of square one. And that line, though, speed-wise, skating ability is going to be really exciting to watch. And then the third line, which we've talked a little bit about with Gostisbehere and Alexander Nikishin. Alexander Nikishin's going to have a lot of eyeballs on him every time he's on the ice.
Yes.
When you come with the hype and prospect pump and circumstance that he comes with, as, for a couple of years, he was considered the best defenseman not in the NHL when he was playing in the KHL. And then he did flash enough during his short stint in the postseason to keep everybody's expectations high. He's skating with Gostisbehere. I think there will be nights where that pair combines for a whole bunch of points.
Yes.
Especially with Gostisbehere having such a prominent role in the power play and Nikishin's ability to hammer from distance. There's going to be some nights where they account for a bunch of points. There's going to be some nights where I think they might give up maybe a couple of opportunities and need Freddie or Pyotr or Bussy or whoever's in between the pipes to bail them out a little bit. But that's part of the deal when you throw those guys out there.
I will say this about Nikishin. Actually finally get to see him play in a preseason game, see him play in person. His physical presence is just
big dude.
It's different. It really is just different. Same with Andrei Miller. Like the physical size of these guys is just they stand out. They really do stand out, and they can skate.
That's what I was going to say. They're not big ogres. They're not Lurch from the Addams Family out there. Just they're big and they can move, and it pops. Like when you're even if you're watching on TV, it pops where you just see a guy. And I used to say this ironically about Martin Necas.
Yeah,
where he kind of led the team in the puck's over here. I'm watching this, and somebody just flies down the middle of the ice, and my peripheral just goes, "Who is that?" And it was often Martin Necas. I get the same impact or the same effect with Alexander Nikishin, at least I did, where it's like, who is that? Because it's someone that big shouldn't be doing that. And you find out it's Nikishin. And I look forward to being equally as surprised by Andrei Miller. So the blue line pairings are number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 all together.
How many years consecutively is one of the biggest stories going into a Canes hockey season? We need a big year from Andrei Svechnikov.
Yeah.
We need the next level for Andrei Svechnikov. And it's often for different reasons, right? Going way back to he showed so much potential early in his career. The next step is going to be so exciting. That would be the story. And then it was coming off the injury. Can he be what he was prior to? Or with a full off season, not injured, can he be what he was prior to? This year, I think the story is guy scored a lot of goals in the postseason. Can he keep up that kind of nose for the back of the net as the regular season gets started? And if he can do that, has a huge impact on Logan Stankoven's ability to play second line center and maybe a little less pressure on top line guys. If he can score like he did in the postseason or anywhere close to it, that becomes a huge part of what the Canes do.
I would like to see him get back, and obviously he would say the exact same thing, that 30-plus goal guy, because he's done it once before, so you know it's in him. And you watch him play, like, yeah, this guy can be that. I think as long as he has the mindset of score first, because I think he's even said it himself, he has that mindset of being a playmaker. And I think he tries to do a little bit too much with the puck, as opposed, like you mentioned in the playoffs, get puck, shoot puck.
Yeah.
That's it. Just get the puck and shoot the puck. And he can play such a physical game. And he could be a bit of an agitator, too. The Canes need him to be that for sure. But when you play on a line with Stankoven and Jackson Blake, even though they're not the biggest guys, those guys still win board battles, especially in the corners. Those guys just come out with the puck. And Andrei can do the same thing. Those guys should capitalize on their forecheck for sure. And absolutely, Andrei Svechnikov, just shoot. Just shoot. Like you said, I think you said it sometimes last year, dude, put 7 shots on net.
Yeah.
If he puts 7 shots on net, you're not going to complain.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not going to complain at all.
It's and have one, like, another thing I say, there's a lot of conversations we've had a lot of times about Andrei Svechnikov.
Yeah.
Once or twice a game when he's healthy, he does something that you just go, do that every time.
Yes.
He'll fly down the middle of the ice. Guys will be bouncing off him. He'll keep possession of the puck, and it's just we just got a Svechnikov in the first goal score prediction.
Here we go.
Just do that every time. Like, have more of those plays because he has the ability to, and he's had the ability to for a long time. That's number 4, getting a big season out of Andrei Svechnikov. Let's jump to number 3. Number 3, the goalie situation. And we talked about it with Walt Ruff. Pyotr Kochetkov already not in the lineup tonight. Freddie, I think, was always going to be Freddie's net on game 1, but you'd like to have Pyotr as the guy who's one play away. He got nicked up and is still being evaluated, just kind of not getting better.
He did play in the last preseason game, so it's happened since then.
And you hope it's something that, just a couple nights off gets fixed. If it ends up being something longer, I don't want to overwork Freddie.
No, not at all.
We've seen kind of what can happen in that case, which means you might have, early season important games with Brandon Bussi in net for the Carolina Hurricanes. One might even say it could be likely at this point. And already your two, the Canes have had goalie injury issues, and they're all too familiar with having a guy who you didn't plan on having between the pipes and depending on him. But you'd like to think it wouldn't start this early in the season. You'd like to think that Brandon Bussi could get a couple reps in the AHL or whatever it is before you get to this point. But you're there, and you got to be. And it's going to be something that we track throughout the year.
I will say this, though, about the Canes system and just the way they play team defense. They do a lot to make sure that opposing teams don't get high-quality chances. So if Brandon Bussi does have to go in and play, maybe it's not today. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's not even on Saturday against Philadelphia. But when they got to go on their long road trip out west for one of the state fairs in town, and Bussi's got to play 1 or 2 games, then you know what? I think they'll be okay. Because, again, they'll make it to the point where shots are coming from the wall. They're clean looks. He can make easy saves and just has to make the simple play. That's all he's got to do. So the team defense will help that out a bunch.
It does, as most injuries do, right? There's no team that has an unlimited amount of NHL goalies, right? There's just not that many existing on planet Earth. But it does, obviously it exposes you to one more could really become an issue. And that goes for, like I said, every team, right? Nobody can survive 4 and 5 injuries, right? There's a point for every team where it's like, but it's just something to monitor. And even if, by the way, Freddie and Pyotr were both super healthy, there are, they've been streaky, especially Pyotr Kochetkov. You want to build up that consistency, and you want to get him into the right mind space to roll into the season playing well. Because we've seen what happens when he can. Either of them, Freddie and Pyotr Kochetkov, when they get 3 or 4 games in a row that they play well, you kind of get excited. Like, oh, they're going to string a bunch of these together. But the opposite can happen as well. So the goalies are going to be a storyline. We're going to track it. We're going to monitor it. We're going to hope for the best. But it is something where you look at the skaters and you're really so confident in a lot of their depth. And maybe that's not quite there in goal. And you never know with prospects and cap space and everything else, what may come in the future. But you don't predict anything too crazy happening. That is number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the two of us.
If we're being real, setting up the starting 5 in this way, the theme is the 5 biggest stories going into the Cane season. I think of tier breaks. I think number 1 and number 2, big stories, what everybody's going to be paying attention to. Tier break, a lot of the same stories we've been tracking for years, and we kind of know how to monitor them. But the first 2, they're the headliners, if you will. And number 2 is Logan Stankoven at second line center.
Yep.
And part of it is because it's a question that's been asked a lot. Can Kotkaniemi be the second line center? Who can fill second line center? Should Jarvis get a chance at second line center? Should they have spent more and gone to get a second line center? And that's not just this year. That's like any points, regular season, off season of the last 3 years. Some would say since Trocheck left. And they might have an answer. Maybe.
Keyword might.
It's kind of nice to think, oh, this question we've been asking for so long might have an answer. It's optimistic. It just comes down to, can Logan Stankoven prove that he can play the position well enough? He's willing to play it well enough that he can fill that role. And then that opens up a world of possibilities for what you do with the picks and prospects, what other lines you skate with, who skates with him, who skates in the Stahl-Martinook line. You can get really creative once you kind of have those 4 guys down the center of your lines locked up, and you would expect Kotkaniemi to be the 4th line.
I mean, look at the teams that have won the Cup in recent years. I mean, just look at, obviously, the last couple of years with Florida. We were going to have Barkov, Bennett, Lundell, 1, 2, 3. You had Jack Eichel and William Karlsson down the middle with the Vegas Golden Knights a few years ago as well. The depth down the middle, I mean, Edmonton Oilers have made it the last couple of years. Obviously haven't won, but being able to go McDavid and Draisaitl, literally two of the top like 5 players in the entire league, 1-2. You have to have
take less. At least one of them is.
Yeah. And you have to have the ability and the talent down the middle of the ice. That's what this Stanley Cup champions have to have. It's down the middle of the ice, defense and goaltending. That's what it really comes down to. And if Stankoven can solidify that number 2 spot, it allows Eric Tulsky to go make other moves if he wants to at the deadline. But if it's shaky, then you definitely know what you have to target for sure. Because you, like you said, you know what Stankoven can do if he has to skate alongside Jordan Martinook and Jordan Staal. It works.
Yep.
We know it works. Even Stankoven, if he's skating on the opposite wing of Jackson Blake or Andrei Svechnikov, we know that can happen. But can he solidify that spot? If he locks it down for this team, it just opens up so much more for Eric Tulsky and what he can do.
There is some optimism for his ability to play second line center, and I'm actually going to point to a conversation we had with Eric Tulsky earlier today, the GM. He came out here, spoke with us outside the Lenovo Center, and you can hear that conversation. We'll replay it again coming up about 5:45. But he did emphasize, and I think it's a point worth repeating, they don't expect their centers, as he described it, to go in front of the net and start wrestling.
Yeah.
Like they skate and they chase and a player like Logan Stankoven, who is, just physical, like dimensions-wise, height, weight, whatever, isn't your traditional center. It doesn't need to be that as much if you are not playing kind of that traditional system where there is a lot more, as he called it, wrestling for that position. So Logan Stankoven has, reasons to believe, and we have reasons to believe that Logan Stankoven can play that position well. The flip side of that coin is, I only want him playing center if he's playing it really well.
Yes.
Because just by the nature of him playing center is you are taking away a really good winger. So that's what you're comparing it against. If you move him to winger, you get a really good wing, a guy that's played in the Western Conference and Eastern Conference finals the last 2 years, and he's only coming off his rookie season. Explain that to me. But that's what you're measuring against. That's the opportunity cost. So I only want him playing center if you're getting a huge amount of value at him playing center, because he has a huge amount of value at the wing. He's a really good player. He's really young, and he's locked up long-term, so you have time to figure it out. That's number 2. Let's get to the biggest story for the Carolina Hurricanes.
The one!
To me, it's the 3. I'll call 3 new guys. All really interesting for really different reasons. There's Nikolaj Ehlers, who's brought in to kind of finally be that third guy in the top pairing or top line to complete what Aho and Jarvis bring.
Yeah.
Then there's K'Andre Miller, who's brought in as kind of maybe the next generation of an elite defensive top 4 for the Carolina Hurricanes. Tall guy, length, skating ability. Sounds like somebody that has all of the things that the Canes pride themselves on having on the blue line. And then there's Alexander Nikishin, who is maybe even somehow even more the future of elite blue line play, meaning even younger and newer in the NHL. And the question becomes, how much do they raise the Canes? How much does the Canes system raise their level of play? I'll focus in on Ehlers here, just because I have a good amount of friends that either cover or are Ranger fans. I know we still keep them. We don't talk to them much in season.
No, we don't.
But there was a certain amount of when you traded for Miller and gave him the contract extension. There was a certain amount of like, ooh, he does this and he does that. Are you sure you want that? And my first thought was, well, those are the things that the Canes absolutely do not accept. So it's almost like, he turns the puck over so much and, he doesn't possess the puck. And it's like, well, if he does that, the Canes will fix it, because you just don't see players on the Canes doing it. So that's kind of what I'm talking about, which is like, how much does being in this system, being in this locker room raise their level of play, and vice versa? How much does their immense talent raise the level of play around them for the rest of this team? And it's just something that we're not going to know 100% tonight, but it's a really enticing deal for the Canes moving forward.
I think also as well, keep in mind, like when we talk with Walt Ruff about this, that it takes the time for people, especially on the defensive end, to get adjusted to this system. And Andrei Miller hadn't played in any preseason games. Now, good for Nikishin, obviously, to play in several preseason games, but having a little bit of that experience at the end of last year. But he still has to get used to, the system and playing in North America and playing at the NHL level. I mean, North America at the collegiate level or the American Hockey League, it's different than in the national. So he's adjusting to so much at one time. And even Nikolaj Ehlers, it's still going to be an adjustment in this system for him as well. Obviously, we always look at what he can do on the offensive side of the ice and maybe in the neutral zone, but you have to play defense in this system too. And I know everyone on the ice, that man-on-man system that they run, you have to trust that everyone's on their P's and Q's. There are going to be bumps in the road early this season. Like up till Thanksgiving, you're going to see bumps in the road from some of these new guys. Hopefully, the fact that they're surrounded by so many good young core players that have been with the system for a while, it can help alleviate a lot of that pressure.
It says quite a bit about the immense talent of Alexander Nikishin that he's even going to be given the opportunity to do what he's doing, which is kind of going straight from the KHL to the NHL without any adjustment period, without a ton of kind of on-ramp or getting better as the kind of expectations rise. Like, he's going to be playing for a team that is a contender, that some have as one of, if not the betting favorite to win the cup. And along the way, he's going to be learning some really tough lessons, and he's just going to have to, while he learns those lessons, still play really high-level hockey, which, again, I don't think they ask that of somebody who is not wildly talented. And we talked about it, 6'4", 220, 215, whatever he is. Elite skater, that helps a lot. It helps a whole bunch. I'm gonna phrase the question to you in the same way that I phrased it to Walt Ruff earlier.
All right.
How much is somebody like Ehlers, a new guy, right, who we have to wait and see how he fits into the Canes and what he does, and we haven't really even seen a ton of him in preseason. But what does he do for Aho and Jarvis, who he'll be skating with?
I know Walt said it, and we talked about it earlier in the show as well. His speed is going to create so much space for Aho and Jarvis, because simple fact, with his speed, he's going to create separation between himself and everyone else on the ice, and it's going to bring a defenseman, if not two, with him, which is going to create voids in the middle of the ice where Jarvis and Aho can find that space. And the way Ehlers can hold on to the puck, he has that playmaking vision as well. To me, I think it's going to give those guys so many opportunities. And even in transition, I think that's something, if the Carolina Hurricanes, when that trio's on the ice with their defense, the way they clog up space in the middle of the ice, they can get some quick 3-on-2 transitions that we're going to see. Hey, there's a blue line turnover that's forced by the Canes. Quickly, the puck is up the ice, and before you know it, it's a 3-on-2, 2-on-1. And the Canes should capitalize on that with that trio as well. The speed of Ehlers is really going to create a lot of space, because we know Jarvis can skate super fast and Aho can skate super fast. They're going to have other teams chasing them.
I really like the way Eric Tulsky described it, which is he's going to help us turn our puck possession into offense.
Yes.
And we probably haven't talked about it enough, the impact on the power play in that case, because, I mean, any Canes fan know, right? Like, really good power play, possessed it the whole time, kept it in the zone, 2 shots.
Yeah, if
like,
that.
It's like, right? It's his speed is something that can, get a penalty kill, an opposing team's penalty kill out of position. And then it's because, they don't always pass up great shots. Sometimes it's just, they were possessing it and nobody was really putting the pressure on them. And then all of a sudden the power play's over and you're going, no, felt like we were doing really well there, but didn't really get much out of it. I think he's the guy that's going to be asked to, if you're doing it really well, get something out of it, which is, like I said, a really good way to put it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. By the way, we do have that conversation with Eric Tulsky. We'll replay it for you coming up in just a few minutes here in this hour, about 5:45. Our next segment, we're going to get to first goal scorer predictions. We do it every single opportunity we can. We give you the opportunity to show that you know hockey. And the way you do that is by predicting who scores the first goal for the Carolina Hurricanes and in what period they score it. Dennis will give his prediction. I'll give my prediction. We'll run through some of yours, some of the people we've asked on the show today. That's coming up next. But first, Dennis Cox wants to tell you something.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick for Loan Pronto. Folks, are you trapped in a high-rate mortgage, maybe watching your hard-earned money vanish away every single month? Well, stop. Right now at Loan Pronto, they are delivering the lowest mortgage rates in 3 years. Loan Pronto's rate reduction home loan program is a streamlined, low-cost way to slash your house payments by hundreds of dollars a month. Lock in a fixed rate as low as 4.99% APR and close in as little as 2 weeks. No appraisal needed in most cases, and here's the kicker. You can skip your next 2 house payments entirely. Don't wait, folks. Rates this low won't last. And Loan Pronto, right now, give them a call for your free, no-obligation quote. Imagine this. Just think about this. Lower payments, more money in your pocket, and a fresh start with a better mortgage. Call 919-381-1760 or visit loanpronto.com to lock in your new low rate and skip those next 2 payments. Don't let high rates hold you back, folks. Call 919-381-1760 or go to loanpronto.com right now. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Just a few more minutes for you to get your first goal scorer predictions in. You can head to my Twitter at Donnelly Sports. I just reposted the tweet where we are asking for first goal scorer predictions. You can just comment right under there, reply, whatever it's called. Or you can head to our YouTube live stream, 99.9 The Fan YouTube live stream. Get in the comments there. We'll look there for first goal scorer predictions. Who's going to score the first goal and in what period will they score it? We want to hear from you and our predictions coming up next right here on The Drive.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and New Jersey.
Kochetkov shoots and scores! Svechnikov puts it onto the tape, and Kochetkov whistles it past Tarasov.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7:30.
Shot on for the score on the power play. Logan Stankoven with the net front.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
ACM and CMA award winner, Hardy.
That's my favorite country song.
The Country Tour.
I woke up on the wrong side of the track.
Saturday, June 13th, Coastal Credit Union Music Park, Raleigh, with Tucker Wetmore.
I need to find me a Burnett.
And McCoy Moore. Hardy Live.
You got it good, old boy.
On sale Friday at LiveNation.com. Part of the Mattress Warehouse Concert Series. Presented by Live Nation.
This party's getting crazy. Are those mini horses? And there's a build-your-own fireworks bar?
Ah! Heads up!
Whoa, and they've got the new ultimate blowout scratch-offs.
Okay, now it's a party.
With $250, $500, and $5,000 prizes, the ultimate blowout scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are exploding with wins. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 8.26. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. I travel coast to coast covering hockey. But when I'm back home, I head to my home away from home, Buffalo Brothers, for the best wings on the planet. You can't beat their specials at all 5 of their Triangle locations. Every pro football game day, you can get Miller Lite Draft for $4.50 and Blue Moon Draft for $5.50. Pet-friendly patio too. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. As promised, we are outside the Lenovo Center getting ready for the Canes opener, 7:30 puck drop, about 2 hours from right now. Canes will open up their season at home against the New Jersey Devils. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. You can also hear it on our brand new app, 99.9 The Fan. Download it in the Google Play and App Store. You'll hear Mike Maniscalco, Trip Tracy, and the entire broadcast.
I said radio only.
Radio only. There you go.
Radio
So
only.
If you want to hear them, you can hear it on 99.9 The Fan or on the app, 99.9 The Fan there as well.
7:30 puck drop,
which is more common this year than it's been in years past. The 7:30 puck drop. We'll be on air live till 6:30, everybody, and obviously Adam Gold will get you ready for the broadcast as well. So get ready. 2 hours, right? Start getting ramped up. Start getting the juices flowing, but we still have a little bit of time. As promised before the break, it's time for first goal scorer predictions.
Let's go.
We are going to read many of yours and discuss some of our favorites. But first, I want us to lock in ours from our side of the microphone, starting with Victoria Vodenecker back at the studio producing today's show.
Hi.
She is traditionally the producer for the Adam Gold Show. You can hear her there every weekday here on 99.9 The Fan. But today she's pulling the double header and working with us as well. And I did tell her before the show, I said, all right, if you're doing our show, be ready with a first goal scorer prediction. So, Victoria, what do you got?
Okay, so I really put a lot of thought into this because
Good.
I'm vibing two people for the most part. And I will tell you, I'm not going with this one. It was between the guy I'm picking and Taylor Hall because I'm feeling Taylor Hall today.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be Aho in the first
All
with a Jarvie assist. Like, I know that's completely chalky, but I mean, it's day one. Those two, they love each other.
Sometimes the simple answer is the easiest
Right?
one, is the right one.
It's like peanut butter and jelly. It goes together.
And we also need a period. Which period will that first goal be coming in?
First period.
All right, first period.
I don't think it'll be in the first 10 minutes, but maybe I shouldn't have said that because watch it be in the first 10 minutes.
Not first 10 minutes. For bragging rights, not first 10 minutes.
Right.
Dennis, just because on my sheet here I have your name written before mine, which one are you rolling with?
So I'm going to go with Nikolaj Ehlers. 7 minutes and 20 seconds into this one. So here's how this 7:20 into this one. So here's how this is going to work. So the Canes are going to cause a neutral zone turnover.
Okay.
Seth Jarvis is going to force a turnover along the wall right in front of the benches. Jalen Chatfield's going to quickly get the puck. He's going to headman it up right to Nikolaj Ehlers. He's going to have a give-and-go 2-on-1 with Sebastian Aho. So Chatfield to Ehlers to Aho, back to Ehlers, 2-on-1 goal, 7:20 into this one in the first.
2-on-1 with Aho, give, and
don't worry, I'll remember it.
I know. I want to have it locked and loaded.
That's fair.
So what was it, 7:28?
7:20.
7:20. For some reason, I wrote down 7:20. All right. Just to be clear, Dennis.
So 13:40 left on the clock.
Nikolaj Ehlers, 7:20 into the first period. It is going to be a Jarvie forced turnover. It's going to go to Chatfield, who's going to kick it ahead to Ehlers. He's going to have a 2-on-1 with Aho, run a give and go, and Ehlers is going to score.
That's right.
If that happens, buy a lotto ticket.
That for real.
So you went
it's over a half bill right now.
Yeah, exactly. To be honest, I wrote this down prior to. I just added a little detail there, but I wrote this down prior to hearing from Victoria. I have Aho in the first. My detail on the power play.
All right.
I want the power play to get off to a really good start. So I'm putting that energy into the universe that the power play is going to get going. And game one, Canes. Aho, it felt like, like it fit. So I'm going Aho, power play on the first. As far as other first goal scorers that we have seeked out so far today, Paul Ihander, the host of Next Up, every morning on 99.9 The Fan from 9 to 10. He went with Ehlers in the first and did clarify the first 10 minutes. Kat Campbell also went with Ehlers.
Yep.
Excited about the new guy, as she put it. First period as well. We did ask Eric Tulsky, and he said he can't because he loves all his children equally.
Yes. But he did say first period.
He did say first period, and he said, whoever I pick, I'm going to have, everyone else is going to be mad at me, maybe even Freddie. So I did give him like a half. If it's Freddie, I'm counting it.
For real.
just for bringing it up, I'm counting it. And giving him all of the bragging rights for that one. Walt Ruff, I'm surprised you didn't go with who Walt Ruff went with.
Yeah, I
because
know.
you were so
Trust me, I
excited.
thought about it.
Walt Ruff team reporter went Sean Walker.
That's my guy.
First period, first 10 minutes for Sean Walker is where Walt went with first goal scorer predictions. Now, let's hear from some of you. Dennis, I know you're in the YouTube live stream comments. What are you hearing?
All right, so earlier we mentioned a few of them, like, for example,
We're going to have to
said,
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but we're going to have to just mention our favorites. We can't mention them all. There's hundreds.
Oh, yeah.
But all of our comments on YouTube, all of the tweets you've sent me, they do come timestamped. So if you get it right, even if we don't read it on air, there is a braggadocious way coming your way.
Talia said Jarvis in the first. Tom said Stankoven in the first period. We actually had from Chase Jackson Blake in the first period, but Chase also said his wife says Sean Walker in the first period. Quentin says it's going to be Aho night, but Sebastian Aho's second period is what we have as well. Also, Logan says Ehlers in the first with the assist by Aho. Andrew says Jarvie in the first period. We also have from Hockey Hatchesy says Kochetkov in the first period. Michael Grigg says Alexander Nikishin in the first 10 minutes of this one as well.
I like to look more big picture. I like to look at kind of trends of what's going on. And I can tell you right now, high expectations for Nikolaj Ehlers.
Yes,
there
should be
quite a few, including Power Play 53 on Twitter, who have come with Nikolaj Ehlers in the first, which also brings me to kind of my next question, which is, and this is just barroom talk, right? It's just your buddies talking about hockey. What do you think would get the Lenovo Center rocking the most? Is it like the fan favorite, tried and true, beloved, like a Seth Jarvis scoring a goal or getting a couple of them? Or would it be something like the new toy, right? The new car in the garage, Nikolaj Ehlers scoring a first period goal?
I think it's the new guy. If one of the new guys scores to kick things off, it's like, yes, that's our guy. See, he's one of us now. Yeah, 100%. Because Jarvie's already one of us. Aho's already one of us. But if Nikolaj Ehlers shows up today and pots one, especially to kick things off, it's like, yep, that's our guy right there.
ML Hasty also had Ehlers in the first. Let's go to some of the more specific ones.
All right, I like it.
Chris, who actually stopped by here and let us know.
Yeah.
Chris on Twitter, first period, Stankoven on a redirect on a power play.
I dig it.
I like the specifics. I also like Stankoven in that part of the ice. He's not the biggest guy, but he's strong and he doesn't mind getting down there and mixing it up and creating some chaos in front of the net. That was not pun intended on the causing chaos thing, but if it fits.
Let's not forget when he was in Dallas, he played a bit with Joe Pavelski. Joe Pavelski, longtime center in the NHL, just retired recently. Fantastic. One of the best in recent memory of guys in the front of the net deflecting shots.
Some more Stankoven love. Mathis says 2-on-1 breakaway. Stank rushes down the center and sends a last-second pass to Svech, who buries it. They were specific. 13 minutes, 27 seconds into the first.
Yeah, 13:27. Okay.
13:27.
That's after than my 7:20.
But there's more predictions like that as well. What I think this forward group is like confidence inducing for the fans is not just certain players' ability to score, but certain players' ability to set up others, the vision and the passing. More so than in years past where we get a lot of Jarvis with a grimy, greasy down, whatever it is. It's a lot of so-and-so scores, but 90% of the prediction is like kind of yours, right?
Yeah.
There's a beautiful play, a 2-on-1, sets him up for the goal. It's almost like Canes fans expect the least impressive part of some goals scored to be the goal scorer because it's so much about, Stankoven draws the defense and a last-second flip to Svech, and Svech finds the back of the net. I think we're anticipating, as a fan base, a lot of kind of beautiful assists set up for easier goals when maybe in years past there was a lot of you got to find the small window and you got to do all this other crazy stuff to score the goal. We have Alex with Svech first period, Stank and Blake with the assists. So that whole second line gets off to a good start. There is, and I mean, the subsection of fans, they just love Martinuk. And you're just getting Martinuk gifs just of that guy's going to score, which I appreciate. You can pick these for whatever reason you want.
in the play in his Canes history against the Devils in the playoffs, he cooks them. He cooks them. He really does.
That is very true.
So maybe he's like, them.
And you got to give
1-1 today.
Got to give some love to the captain. This will be the last one we read during the segment. Jake hit us with, why do I feel like it's always Jordan Staal?
It's true.
It's because he's been around for a long time, and it might always be Jordan Staal.
It might always be.
The first goal score predictions, like I said, we can't read them all. We don't have enough time. We appreciate everybody that plays the game. And like I said, all of our YouTube comments, all of the tweets you send, they come time-stamped. So as long as they're time-stamped before the opening puck drop, we'll give you your credit if you get it right, which we hope they're all right, but only a few of them can be. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. Maynard Service Company, a little bit like the captain, right? A little bit like why does it feel like it's always Maynard Service Company? Because it is. Because they've been in the area for a very long time. They've been doing their job for a very long time. Their owner, Brett, makes sure that it feels like whenever you need them, they're there. Right, it's 24/7 service all across the triangle. We're talking all of Wake County and 50 miles in any direction, 24/7 service. So, if you're woken up by the sound of water dripping from your ceiling, it's not a great feeling. But it's a little bit better feeling. I'm not going to say it's a good feeling, but it's a little bit not all as awful if you have Maynard Service Company's number saved in your phone and you can already give them a call. And that goes for heating, cooling, the plumbing, as I mentioned, electric. Right, when things go bad, they're just a little bit not as bad if you have Maynard Service Company on saved in your phone. So I'll give you the number and you can save it right now. 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or you can look them up online, get more information there. It's MaynardServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. When we come back, we will re-air our conversation from earlier today with Eric Tulsky, the GM that put the roster together. What do you think, or do you think he accomplished everything he wanted to this offseason? I asked him just that. You'll hear his answer coming up next.
It's Chevrolet truck season at Wilkinson Chevrolet GMC in Sanford, and the deals are rolling in heavy. Get up to $9,500 off a bold new 2025 Silverado 1500 ZR2, or choose 5.9% APR for 84 months. Includes a Wilkinson discount, customer and bonus cash, and trade assistance. See dealer for details. If you want rugged power and unbeatable value, Wilkinson's got your Silverado waiting. Hurry to Wilkinson Chevrolet GMC in Sanford. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
This is your year if you're Buffalo. This is your year. The competition in the AFC in terms of number of great teams is less than it feels like it's been. You have to take advantage of it.
I'm looking around the landscape of the AFC, and every single team has major questions with the exception of the Buffalo Bills.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
Hey, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan, from my friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I've been following the program at Raleigh Weight Loss Center for 9 weeks now, and I've lost 40 pounds. That's right, 40 pounds in 9 weeks, thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And to put that even more context, that's 13% of my body weight. 13% of my body weight gone in 9 weeks thanks to Raleigh Weight Loss Center. I'm sleeping a whole lot better. My fiance doesn't even notice when I'm sleeping at night because I'm no longer snoring. My resting heart rate is all improved. So many other physical parts about my body just feel so much better thanks to the weight that I've lost at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And you can get on that journey as well. Set up a free 15-minute phone call by visiting RaleighWeightLossCenter.com or give them a call, 919-897-7506. That's 919-897-7506. Let the folks over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center answer any of the questions and concerns that you have. 919-897-7506, RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
The GM of the Carolina Hurricanes here on opening night outside the Lenovo Center has taken the time to walk outside with us. Because don't want you falling backwards a little bit. It's the chair gets a little loose.
We'll catch you, Eric. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. Eric, first of all, thank you for the time.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.
Opening day, pretty rare excitement of any calendar day in sports, right? So we appreciate you taking the time to come out here. Looking back at the offseason, obviously you started with maybe a to-do list or things you wanted to do. Did you get all or most of those things checked off the list by today?
Yeah, I mean, I would say we'd always want to do more. We're never satisfied. But yeah, I mean, being able to bring in Andrei and Ehlers, like we added 2 really high-end pieces. And then
Don't mind me. I'm just going to move this a little bit closer.
No worries.
There you go.
And then we were able to fill out our depth a little bit and feel good about where we are right now.
One of the stories coming into this season is Logan Stankoven getting the shot at second line center. Was that always part of, like, when you traded for him from Dallas, was it always with the anticipation that somewhere along the line he might take that shot to move into the middle?
I would say we knew it was a possibility. Don't know that I would say it was the plan. It's hard to plan that far ahead, but we knew it was something he's capable of and interested in, and something to give a shot to.
What makes him somebody who, obviously with his height, is kind of a non-traditional center? What makes him somebody that you do give that chance to?
Yeah, I mean, he plays really hard. He's got a defensive conscience. He understands what he's supposed to do. He can take care of the responsibilities that are handed to him. And then the way we play defensively, we're not a team that just has the center stand in front of the net and wrestle. We're chasing all over the zone. And so it's not the traditional position where you need somebody that is just a physical monster. He's going to be in a position where he's going to be skating all over the ice and covering down low and covering up high. And, he's capable of that. And it's on the breakouts and other things. Like, he knows the routes to run. He knows how to do his job, and he's competitive. And I think he'll be okay.
Is that where the league is going for what you've seen? We're kind of like, it's just 3 forwards. It's kind of positionless in a sense.
It is, I mean, everybody does it differently.
Yeah.
But that is always been how we've operated. There's certainly different responsibilities when you get into a set. But the way we play, we do not have that sort of traditional 2 defensemen in the center in front of the net and 2 wingers out at the point. It's much more sort of free-flowing, trying to react to where the puck goes and make sure we're covering.
We're talking with Eric Tulsky, Canes GM, outside the Lenovo Center here on opening night. When it comes to negotiating these long-term contracts, and it seems like you have everybody on the roster under a long-term contract, were you anticipating some of the deals we've seen recently and almost going, once they see the Kaprizov or whoever it is deal, everybody's going to want more money, so let's get these done at the beginning of the offseason?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't so much about any one contract. You never know how anything's going to go, but the cap's about to go up really fast. And if we can get players committed here long-term, that helps us, right? We now have some cost certainty as the salary cap space explodes. That just creates more and more room for us to keep adding to the roster.
When you're looking at this roster, I asked some fans for a question for you, and there were, I will say, a smaller group, but they were very loudly asking this question. Why isn't Bradley Nadeau on the opening roster for the NHL season?
Yeah, I mean, he's been really good. He's done what we wanted. He has an incredible shot. He's a great scorer. He would help our power play immediately. He's still young. There's things he can work on, right? And he needs to get his game to a place where he can play consistent minutes for us night in, night out. You don't want to bring him up and have him playing 6 or 8 minutes and, scratched every other night. Like, that's not what he needs right now. What he needs is to play and get to where he's, a little bit stronger along the walls, a little bit more anticipatory in the D zone, just to where he can play that, 13, 15 minutes every night, and then we'll get him into the lineup.
Speaking of top prospects getting their shot, how's Alexander Nikishin's English, which I feel like we talked so much about last year during the postseason?
Yeah, I mean, it's coming along. He can have a conversation. He's, you would not think that he was born and raised in Raleigh yet, but he's coming along.
He'll fit, right?
He will fit. Yeah.
From a game perspective, from an on the ice perspective, what do you expect from him as he gets his first real chunk of NHL play in North America?
Yeah, I mean, the talent is obvious. So the ceiling is very high. It's just a question of how fast he can adapt. And the way we ask people to play is different from the way most teams in the NHL play, and very different from the way most teams in the KHL play. And so it's just sort of like he has habits, he has a way he's played his whole life, and having to get used to playing a different way will take time. And we don't know until he's in there whether that time is going to be a couple days, couple weeks, couple months. I don't know. So that's what's in front of him. We know he'll get there eventually. Like, the talent is undeniable.
We're talking with Eric Tulsky, Canes GM. One of the big stories, I keep saying the big story, but there's like 7 things you could describe as the big story going into opening night. Nikolaj Ehlers. From your perspective, how do you judge a successful season? Like, if we talk to you when the postseason's getting started, what would make you say, like, what a great year for Nikolaj Ehlers?
Yeah, I mean, what we're looking for, what we're hoping to get from him is someone who can help us sort of turn puck possession into offense. And whether the puck goes in or not on any given night, like, I try not to get too hung up on that. But we want him to be someone who creates scoring chances night after night, whether that's on his own stick or someone else's. We want him to be driving offense. And he's got the ability to he has dynamic skating. He's good with the puck. He has good vision. He has the ability to take those sort of routine plays and make scoring chances appear that wouldn't have been there otherwise. And that's what we want to see from him on a consistent basis.
Have you seen, it's almost a meme now, the meme of you on the laptop in the arena? One of the things that I seem to, or I obviously don't have any access behind the scenes, but I love that it seems like you're involved in every conversation, right? Everything around the league, you're in the mix, right? Whether you're actually making a play or not, I don't know. How do you do that? Are you calling like every other GM, like every couple of days? Like, is it that diligent? Like, how is basically what I'm getting at there.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. I try to be on the phone, most of the day, honestly. Like, one of the things that we hate most in life is when there's a trade and we look at it and say, why didn't they call us? We would have paid more than that. And it drives me nuts. And so the only way I can avoid that is if I'm checking in every so often and saying, hey, what are you doing? What are you thinking about? Hey, we'd be interested in that. Let me look at what we could do. And so, I try to stay really active and make sure that I'm aware of what's going on. And don't want to miss a chance to make the team better.
Do the other GMs like take to that, or do you, like my wife thinks I'm talking to Eric Tulsky too much? Like does that kind of thing come up?
Yeah, I don't think I'm talking to anyone enough that their families get annoyed by it. It's we have a good relationship. We try to chat. I go on the road with the team and try and sit down with the other GM there and build the relationship, take them out to lunch, like whatever, just trying to spend time with people and make sure I have that relationship so that, when I call, they're happy to talk to me.
So along those lines, because the rules now with the new collective bargaining agreement about how there's the postseason salary cap, and just how teams were able to circumvent the cap with long-term IR, but now that that's all changed. How does that affect you and how you handle when it comes to we've got X amount of dollars in cap space and we can make these certain moves, but when the postseason rolls around, we can't field that roster potentially fully. How does that impact potentially what you do during the season?
Yeah, so for the position we're in, we have enough cap space right now that I don't expect that to be a problem.
Yeah.
We're going into the season with more than 10 million of space, and it's unlikely we're adding more than 10 million of players during the season.
For sure.
So we should be fine. What's interesting about it is other teams that are closer to the cap might find that limiting.
Mm-hmm.
And so there might be less competition for players,
Okay.
right? You could find teams saying, hey, we'd love to add this guy, but then we're just going to have to sit this other guy, and what's the point? And so we'll see. It's the first time through. We don't know how it'll play out, but I won't be shocked if the market's a little bit softer than usual because some teams just don't have the space to make the odds they would normally make.
Okay, I like hearing that. For the Kings' perspective, I like hearing that, Eric. I really do.
What'd you think of Seth Jarvis on Amazon on the Face Off documentary?
I mean, he's great. He's a great personality, and I'm excited that we had the opportunity to get him featured and let a national audience see what he's like and how he is. He's a fun person, and it just shows like the camera loves him, and Yeah, he's a party, and it's good to get America in on his party.
He's a party. I like that description of Jarvis. Last one for you. Do you mind playing a game that we play on game day all the time?
I don't know. What's the game?
First goal scorer predictions. Can you pick a player and a period? Anyone obviously on the roster, and it's just bragging rights and everything else that comes along with it.
I don't know. That's a tough one. I love all my children equally.
That's fair.
If I pick one of them, I've got 17 guys mad at me that I didn't pick. Maybe 18. I don't know how Freddie feels about it.
Well, you can pick Freddie. You can pick Freddie. Then it hits. That's bragging rights for life.
Might need to make that bet.
But first period, right? I mean, that's
for sure.
There you go. Everyone's happy with that.
Of course. Yeah.
Eric, we appreciate you taking the time, jumping out here, and good luck this season, and obviously tonight on opening night.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Once again, that is Eric Tulsky, Canes GM. And we are live outside of the Lenovo Center. Thank you once again to Eric Tulsky. That conversation from earlier today. We are inching closer to puck drop. 7:30 puck drop, which means we're about an hour and a half away. And we can continue getting you ready, continue getting you in the mood for hockey. And one way we can do that is by giving you insight from Walt Ruff, team reporter for the Carolina Hurricanes. He joined us here outside the Lenovo Center earlier today, and that conversation is coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
Get crazy, Canes fans. It's hockey night in Carolina. It's your Canes and New Jersey.
Kochetkov shoots and scores! Svechnikov puts it onto the tape, and Kochetkov whistles it past Tarasov.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6:30. Puck drop at 7:30.
Shot out for the score on the power play. Logan Stankoven with the net front.
On your official audio home of Hurricanes hockey, 99.9 The Fan.
Is your heating and air system ready for cooler weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your independent trained dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Here's Brandon with Parkway Sleep Centers.
Tired of waiting for a sleep treatment? At other sleep centers, it can take 6 to 8 months just to get an appointment and cost you thousands more. Not Parkway Sleep Health Centers. We schedule you within weeks and we'll save you money too. We have over 20 years of experience serving the Triangle. Let our expert team help you sleep better sooner.
End your sleep problems. Live your best life. Experience the Parkway Sleep difference. Visit parkwaysleep.com and start your journey to better sleep today. Parkway Sleep Health Centers. Sound sleep, sound health.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is John Wall. The Salvation Army does so much for people right here in Wake County. Join me and 999 The Fan and showing them some love and support. Just for me, the Salvation Army is always dope. It gives opportunity for anybody, any situation to get support. I really got into it because my mom, before she passed, she was always doing so much she could to help the Salvation Army, cooking for them, doing anything to get back to them. So we always want to honor her and keep that going with my John Wall Family Foundation. The need in Wake County is real, and the Salvation Army is meeting it with real solutions. If you want to help, visit wakearmy.org.
The 25th anniversary SAS Championship tees off October 10th through 12th at the Prestonwood Country Club. See golf's greatest, Ernie Els, Bernard Longer, Colin Montgomery, and more battle it out right here in the Triangle. This year's celebration is bigger than ever with fireworks after Food Truck Friday and exciting action from the legends all weekend long. Don't miss golf, food, family fun, and 25 years of memories. Get tickets today at saschechampionship.com. Proceeds benefit the YMCA of the Triangle.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. I almost want to say, you hear that music, you know who's joining us.
Hey, acknowledge this man.
It is Walt Ruff, Canes team reporter, outside the Lenovo Center for opening night here tonight. Walt, appreciate the time.
Hold up. I didn't realize Walt had a theme song. We have to do this for the Adam Gold Show, okay? Walt, you got to tell me this stuff, buddy.
Sorry, Victoria.
Yeah, it's like giving yourself a nickname. He can't tell you that he has a theme song. You have to find out organically. But Walt, he deserves a theme song, and that's why we brought him out here on opening night and as often as we can when we're out here on the Lenovo Center Plaza. We just talked about it. You've been, deep in this season's prep for a month, and now opening night is here. So I'm sure you've been thinking about the new guys as much as anybody else has. I'm going to try to frame this in a way that hasn't been said over and over again. We'll start with Nikolaj Ehlers. Rather than talking about what you expect from him, what does he do for Aho and Jarvis on that top line? What maybe more do you expect to see out of two guys we're really familiar with but are now playing with someone else?
Yeah, that is a really good way to frame it because it's going to give them a little bit of a different style player. We've heard for even prior to July 1st that he was the perfect fit for this Carolina Hurricanes team, right? How long have we been hearing that, guys? Now he's finally here. But he's not an identical player to the guys who we've seen on that top line in the past, and Andrei Svechnikov and Jackson Blake, some of those other previous characters. And that's okay. That's a good thing, right? You want to have a little bit of diversity to your skill set. So I think we're all looking forward to seeing how Nikolaj Ehlers' speed works out on that line, right? That's priority number one. But we know he can put the puck in the net too. So how does he mesh those things together? It might take a little bit, as we've seen with some marquee players who have come in over the last couple of years. It's not always instant success, but I think the fact that you're starting those three guys together, the three who will probably have the best chance of being together for most of the year, I think it's a good time to finally see what we can do in real game action here tonight.
Is it kind of like when Gensel was brought in?
A little bit.
Kind of similar in the skill set, similar build. But I think Ehlers is a little bit, he is faster. I think he holds on to pucks even better.
You have three legitimate options on that line, right? And that's not to say that in the past there haven't always been, but you got to be mindful of where all three of those guys are on the ice. And how much do we talk about Rod Brindamore playing the matchup game? And I know that we normally don't get into that a whole heck of a lot until the playoff time, but if you're an opposing team's fourth line and you get stuck out against Nikolaj Ehlers, Sebastian Aho, and Seth Jarvis, that's the panic zone right there.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's not like, okay, we got to keep an eye on this guy. You're in trouble.
Well, how do you feel if it's the second line and Logan Stankoven is the center? It looks like the first kind of run at it's going to have Blake and Svech on there. So much talk about Logan Stankoven getting, that shot at a position that has been talked about so aggressively. But again, I'll frame it the other way. What do you want to see from Svech and Blake, who maybe have to take on a little bit more or less depending on what Logan Stankoven's bringing in the middle?
I'd love to see the three of them unlock another level of creativity. Whenever we talk about Jackson Blake, we talk about his creativity largely because of what we saw from him at the USHL level and the NCAA level. We saw most of it during the first year, but I think there's even more there, right? Like, he's just a fearless cat. I think here, you want a hot take? We were speaking before the segment began. I think we're going to see Jackson Blake try a lacrosse style attempt goal this year. Like, he just has that in his mind.
He's got that twinkle in his eye.
Yes, he does. And he has the ability to pull it off. So, and obviously, Andrei can do it in his sleep at this point, right, too? And you're going to have Logan Stankoven speed coming up the middle of the ice. So creativity is the word that comes to mind when I think about those three playing together.
How does Blake change now, going from the rookie trying to establish himself in the NHL to the second-year core player with a long-term contract and complete stability?
Well, he's got that stability too, right? And he has a better understanding of what this league is. He's not coming in a little bit dark. It's such a big jump going from the NCAA to the NHL without playing in the minor leagues, the pro level. So he figured it out on the fly last year. We saw him in a little bit more of a protected role, right? He started the year in the bottom half of the lineup and then gradually worked his way up. I think it was January 17th was his first game on the top line, and we saw him there for most of the remaining of the regular season and the playoffs as well. So now he's going to have that shot to be in the air quotes top 6 from the get-go, and you hope he continues to run with that opportunity as well.
Don't let Walt fool. You think it was January 17th. This is Walt Ruff. That's why you get a theme song, right? Not mid-July. I think it might have been January 17th. It was a 7:30 puck drop.
Walt game.
I think it might have been in Vegas, but I don't remember.
See?
He knows
That's
his
how you
stuff.
stumped on him there,
That's
Walt.
why he is who he is. Walt Ruff, team reporter, joining us here outside the Lenovo Center. Jump into the future, right? And maybe it's Blake, but I want to give you the opportunity to go in whatever direction you want. Regular season just ended. What was the biggest positive surprise for the Carolina Hurricanes?
Wow. Here's one for you that maybe we're not considering, but we should be. The team stayed healthy this year. Wouldn't that be
Would
nice?
love it. Put that energy into the universe.
Yeah, let's try, right? I mean, there's so much talk about how this team can be altered with one injury, and a lot of people think about the goaltending component. Obviously, we're missing Pyotr Kochetkov tonight, right? So it's kind of an unavoidable topic. Frederik Andersen's got to stay healthy, or else we're looking at putting an NHL debut in between the pipes. And that's not to say that the organization doesn't believe in Brandon Bussi. They went out and acquired him for a reason after Keaton Primo had a really good preseason. So, but good health. It's got to be good health because, yes, the team has depth, but you don't want to dip your toes into too much of that pool. We've seen long call-up stints from guys in previous years, and Juha Jaska and Tyson Jost, who's no longer with the organization. So you'd love to see everybody stay healthy.
Actually, that was one of the questions I had for you. I do my best to stay up on everything, but when they acquire someone like Brandon Bussi, I'm kind of going, all right, well, first thing I need to do is figure out how to pronounce that last name, and then we'll go from there. What can you tell us about Bussi, who obviously will be dressed and as every backup is, one play away tonight?
Yeah, I had to do the same, I'll be honest, over the last couple of days. I mean, he was an AHL All-Star in 2023, but when it comes to the last name, you got to go to YouTube and just look up some clips. I mean, we're looking up Western Michigan stuff, some Providence AHL stuff, so shout out to those broadcasters for keeping us in the loop. He's been a good AHL goaltender the last couple of years. He's been with the Boston Bruins organization, thought he was getting kind of a fresh start in his career this year, going to the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. Like anybody, you never know when an injury is going to arise, and you can make the trek. Now, fortunately for him, he was on his way to Charlotte, North Carolina, where the Panthers AHL affiliate is, and decided to pull an detour, 64 East. He just kind of started making his way this way. So, and pretty fortuitous to the fact that he's, not heading somewhere ridiculous like Calgary of the American League or something. But I'm eager to see, if we do see him, we'll find out tomorrow a little bit more on Pyotr Kochetkov's status. But given the precaution that's been taken with some of the injuries that we've seen in camp thus far, you can almost kind of presume that Kochetkov probably won't be available on Saturday, and then the team goes away for 2 weeks. So if you're Brandon Bussi, you're probably thinking you're going to get on the plane at this point. And yes, that the spacing in between games would potentially allow Frederik Andersen to play all 6. I don't think that's going to be the case. So you're going to need him at some point. You need a second goaltender. You need a third goaltender. If you're this organization in previous years, you need 5. You need 6. Hopefully that's not the case this year. But if Brandon Bussi does get between the pipes, the organization went out and got him for a reason.
We haven't seen, to kind of switch gears here, we haven't seen Andrei Miller during the preseason. How much does that or does that not matter?
I'll shoot it straight. I think it does matter. Look at some of the defensemen who have come in and been expected to play prominent roles in years past, and Dmitry Orlov and Brent Burns. It took time for those guys. And much like Andrei Miller, those were really good defensemen before they came to the Carolina Hurricanes. It's just a different system to adapt to. And I know that Andrei's in a good position skating alongside Jalen Chatfield, the guy who's got the system down, who's earned his way into the system after coming over as kind of a second chance prospect a couple years ago from the Vancouver Canucks. I think it does matter, though. Looking around the NHL the last couple nights, I've been fascinated to hear, and part of the reason why I asked Rod Brindamore about it yesterday was New York Rangers captain JT Miller, I think, only played in 1, maybe 2 preseason games, and after the first game, he was talking about how his legs felt heavy and he didn't feel good at shooting it straight, right? Like, if you don't get in a preseason game, this kind of is your preseason, except it really counts. So I think it does matter. You just hope to mitigate some of the potential errors that could come along with your first game in a system and it being a meaningful hockey game. But Andrei is a smart guy, so I'm hoping he can figure it out on the fly.
You know what time it is. It is first goal scorer prediction time. You've done this enough. You know the deal. Who scores the first goal for the Canes and in what period?
Love this question. Was checking out some of the YouTube comments a couple moments ago with what some other people were saying. I'm going to go with another defenseman. I know I feel like I always say that on this show, but let's talk about another guy who's got a tremendous opportunity this year.
I think I know who you're going to say. Say it.
Say it at the same time. 1, 2, 3.
Sean Walker, my
yes.
man.
Yes.
Dennis and I are aligned on that one. You're playing with the best defensive defenseman in all of hockey. We see how he facilitates the puck in the offensive zone. Sean Walker getting an elevated opportunity this season. First pair, second power play unit. Let's see it.
Are you going first period?
Yes.
Yes. I had a feeling, but I wanted to double check.
First 10 minutes.
First 10 minutes. I like that as well.
Get it.
Second person to Paul Ihander of also on our network.
Love Paul.
Also signaled he went with Ehlers, but he said first period.
Man, wouldn't that be something?
And then took a second and said first 10 minutes as well.
Love it.
Both of you looking for that first little burst.
By the way, real quick on Sean Walker. I know we only got a minute here, but I feel like we're going to see his offensive production go up this year, just playing more minutes in general, but playing alongside Slavin. It's like Slavin's over there. Yep. I can make a risk, but then also getting some power play time. I think we can honestly see a 30-point season from a guy like Sean Walker, like 10 and 20. I think we legit can see that from him.
Definitely. I right there with you. We talked about Jackson Blake unlocking a new layer of creativity with his opportunity. I think much the same as Sean Walker.
Love it.
Well, we appreciate it. We'll keep following along, and good luck this season as you head into the real stuff, the regular season.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate you both, and not to count our chickens before they hatch. We're looking forward to being out here with you again and during a sunny mid-April day.
I sounds good from your lips to the hockey god's ears. Once again, that is Walt Ruff, Canes team reporter from earlier today. We will wrap up our coverage from outside the Lenovo Center. By wrapping up our coverage, I mean just the drive. What we're really doing is passing the baton to Adam Gold and then eventually to the on-air broadcast team of Mike Meniscalco and Trip Tracy, because we're all Canes hockey tonight here on 99.9 The Fan and the 99.9 The Fan app. So we'll be back with our predictions for the game, for the season. Keep getting you ready for the opener against the Devils at 7:30. Back after this on the drive.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. A beautiful fall day out there today, and it turns cool overnight tonight. We'll have mainly clear skies tonight. We'll get down into the upper 40s. Heading into Friday, more clouds roll in. It's a breezy day, but it should stay dry with a high of 69.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. For all the inside information on your team, join me and my co-host, WRAL TV's Chris Lee, for our podcast, Panthers Playbook, presented by Wake Orthopedics. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on your Panthers, and we'll do it with access only we can provide. Locker room insight, exclusive interviews, and in-depth looks at every Panthers game. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube.
On the Wolfpack Sports Network from Learfield, this is Wolfpack Sports Today, your daily look inside NC State athletics. And now, here's Wolfpack Sports Today.
I'm Matt Chazanow. NC State's 4-2 midway through the year and packs its bags for the road. Wolfpack Sports Today is next.
Hello, I'm Dr. Hadley Calloway from Raleigh Orthopedic Clinic. Many of my patients have shoulder pain, usually from rotator cuff tendonitis. That hurts in the shoulder, but also up to the neck and down to the elbow. It hurts to put a coat on, to tuck their shirt in, to reach behind their back. It hurts a lot at night. The treatments usually involve a cortisone shot, physical therapy, maybe some medication. If it doesn't get better, I get an MRI test, and there's an arthroscopic surgery that can get you back to normal before you know it.
Thanks, Dr. Calloway. Use the same doctors as the NC State Wolfpack. For more information, visit RaleighOrtho.com.
The Pack's at the midpoint of the football season. Through the first 6 games, none of them have been outside the state. 4 of the kicks have been in Carter Finley. It's time now to go wheels up. First flight of the year for Pack football. Head coach Dave Doran.
We're gone for a month, and so at Notre Dame this week, and then a bye, and then at Pitt. And so, we'll miss being in Carter Finley here for a little bit. And now on to Notre Dame, a great opponent, very physical football team, big offense and defensive lines. Tight ends are, 6'6". The 2 running backs, super impressive on film, and what you'd expect when you play them. Both run hard, different running styles, but hard to tackle. elusive.
Coach Doran and the Pack take on this Notre Dame squad that's 3-2 with 3 consecutive wins. Doran references running backs Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. The duos combined for 13 rush touchdowns this year. Wolfpack Sports Today continues next.
To us, every moment matters. Moments of quiet perseverance and loud celebrations. Starting moments and the moments that make us feel unstoppable. We're here to help you be present for them all. UNC Health is dedicated to getting you back to what you love. Faster, stronger, and healthier. Official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics.
NC State's at Notre Dame Saturday, 1:30 airtime, 3:30 kick. This is the Wolfpack Sports Network from Learfield.
You've been listening to Wolfpack Sports Today, your daily look inside NC State athletics. Wolfpack Sports Today is a Learfield presentation of the Wolfpack Sports Network.
Progressive knows road trips without your pet can be tough.
Hi, this is Next Stop Dog Boarding.
Hi, it's Scott again. How's Squeaks doing? You can tell if he's stressed by his eyebrows. Oh, and his breathing should sound like this.
Scott, Squeaks is exactly the same as last time you called.
Okay, let's talk in 20 to see if anything's changed.
With Progressive, your pet is covered up to $1,000 in vet bills in case of a car accident. So next time, you can take your pet with you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and subject to policy terms.
Struggling with high interest debt? You can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated the kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is A+ rated by the BBB and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Their service is off the charts. Call now to start the conversation. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760. Get debt relief now. Loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender. NMLS 166171 on approved credit. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We are near the end of our show, but that'll just pass things off to Adam Gold.
Yeah, we are.
He'll lead you right up to Puck Drop, where Mike Maniscalco and Trip Tracy will take over. You can listen to the entirety of what I just told you here on 99.9 The Fan, as well as the 99.9 The Fan app, which is, I think, a huge improvement on what we've had in the past. We've been working a long time on the app, meaning our company internally. So
not us.
If you haven't done so, it's we. It's
the royal we.
We take credit for their hard work. But we, meaning 99.9 The Fan, have the app out. Download it, and you can listen to the Canes, right in your pocket, whatever you have going on. So I encourage you all to do that on iPhones. Check it out in the App Store. If you're on an Android or some other device, you can check it on the Google Play Store. All we ask is that once you download it, you first of all use it, right? Go in there, check out the content, and five-star rating and positive review would be awesome as well. With that being said, before we pass the baton off to Adam Gold and everybody else, we have to make our picks, and this is not just making our picks for tonight, making our picks for this season. So, Dennis, do you want to start setting things up?
I do. Let's go and start off. Who leads this team in goals? End of the season. Who has in the goal column at the end of the year after 82? Who has the most?
You know what? I actually think this is somehow not the favorite. I'm taking Aho.
Oh, okay.
I know that Jarvis is very frisky pick to score 40, 45 goals. I think Ehlers opens up something in Aho and he finds the back of the net a whole bunch of times.
Okay. How many goals?
I'll go 38.
38. Okay.
I think I don't know if they have that 40, 45 goal score, but I think they have a whole bunch of 30 to 38 goal scores.
Hey, I'm okay with that. I'm going to go Seth Jarvis leads his team in goals, 41 this season.
That would be awesome as well.
41. All right. At the end of the year, let's look at the points column. Who has the most points at the end of the year?
I think we all agree that if Aho's leading them in goals, he's probably leading them in points as well.
He probably will be.
So I'm going Sebastian Aho with the back-to-back.
Okay, how many? How many points?
My bold prediction has been that he gets 100 this year.
Okay.
His career high is 89.
Yeah.
So I'm going career high. Maybe not quite my bold prediction. I'll go 94.
I'll go with Jarvis. I'm going to go with Aho as well. Jarvis leads in points. Aho leads the team in both assists and points this season. I'm going to go with 96.
96.
96.
Again, any of these predictions coming true means that top line's getting going.
Oh, for
which
sure.
is fantastic for the Canes' outcome as far as wins and losses, because it means that their studs are playing like studs, which, to use Rod Brindamore's terms, top guys need to play like top guys. It's something that indicates things are going well for the Canes.
All right, so that's the overall team prediction. Let's go specifically the blue line. Most goals this year from the blue liners.
Ooh, interesting. Goals, I'm tempted to go with one of the new guys, but I think with the power play opportunities, Ghost. Give me Gostisbehere.
I'm going to go Gostisbehere, 14 goals this year.
Around there. I would have, we'll go mid-teens. Just to say something different, I'll go 15.
Okay. Let's go with total points among defensemen this year.
I'm feeling Keandre Miller.
Really?
I'm feeling Keandre Miller. And I've had some bold predictions already on the books with, him doubling up other blue liners across the league and stuff. So give me Keandre Miller. I think he also will have a decent amount of power play opportunities. But I think his skating ability leads to quite a few, leak out passes and things that end up in the back of the net.
Where do they finish in the Metro? First, second, third, fourth, fifth? Where do they finish in the Metro
I think it's
this year?
first.
First in the Metro?
Obviously, a lot of it comes down to health. I think if you kind of assume everyone's healthy, or meaning everyone in the division, or everybody suffers similar level injuries, I think the Canes come out on top. I think they're the most complete team.
I think the regular season, now I think there are 3 teams out of the Metro that make the playoffs this year. I think it's Washington, I think it's Carolina, and I think it's the team they're playing tonight, New Jersey. I think 3 teams come out of the Metro to make the playoffs this year. I don't think a team from the Metro makes a wild card. I don't think it's Pittsburgh. I don't think Columbus will push like they did last year, and I don't think the Rangers make it, and the Islanders stink. But I am going to go with – I'm actually going to say they actually finished the regular season second in the Metropolitan Division.
This team they're playing tonight.
New Jersey Devils. How many points do they finish with, though, this season? The Metro overall isn't good.
I'm going with a good round 105.
Really? That high? I mean, you haven't predicted win the division.
I didn't predict to win the division, and I don't, like you said, the division ain't great, so there's points to be had. And it's Canes opening night. I'm sitting outside the Lenovo Center. You think I'm going to go I'm not taking the under. Give me the over.
I'm taking the under. I'm actually going to go. They say finish second in the Metropolitan Division, 102 points, which is still more points than what they had last year, finished in the exact same spot in the division. All right, here's a fun one for you here real quick.
Sure.
Over under 3.5 goalies used this season.
Ooh. History says over.
Yeah.
I think they could use an unexpected goalie by 2 weeks from now.
True.
If Pyotr Kochetkov misses, 2 weeks, I think Bussy gets a start somewhere in there, which sets you up for 3 right out the gate.
Yeah.
And then just one more kind of unusual goalie throughout the season. I just think it's becoming more the norm, like that a NHL team's going to have to play 4 goalies throughout a year. And I think that's why what Eric Tulsky does, which is always staying involved in every situation. You want to know where the goalies are, who's available, who's playing well in the AHL, and go from there. So, yeah, I'm taking the over.
Okay, I'm going to go with the over as well. I'm also going to set an over-under here. This one for our good friend Micah, who's a big fan of the show. Over-under.
Did we get a first goal scorer prediction from Micah?
I have not seen one.
What the heck, Micah?
Come on, man.
He's probably tailgating.
He probably would have said Giovanni Smith, even if he's not playing tonight. Over under 5.5 fights this year for the Carolina Hurricanes.
I'm taking the over.
Taking the over? Okay.
I'm taking the over because I've picked them to win the division. I've picked them to 105 points. I think when you have that target on your back, teams bring you a little extra sandpaper to your matchups. And I think they'll, the Canes, just because they don't look for fights and they don't have a bunch of just monsters on their team, doesn't mean that they're soft. Like, if they get poked, they'll respond. So, yeah, I'm taking the over.
Okay. Final one here for you this season. Season prediction. Over under 1.5 players traded before the trade deadline. From the current roster we have today, over under 1.5 players traded before the deadline.
Does that include prospects?
No, I'm talking guys currently on the roster tonight.
Under. I could see one, right? Especially if you need to make some salary cap stuff make sense. But I think their roster is pretty complete. I think they like their guys, which some people will make fun of me saying that exact phrase. I like our group.
I like our group.
But I think if they look to add, they have the prospects and the picks to give up. So why would you give up an NHL player that you like, unless you need to give up one to make the numbers work salary cap wise? So I'll go under. Are you under as well on that? I'm curious.
I'm tempted to say under as well.
Okay.
I really am tempted to say under as well. So yeah, I'm gonna go under. But I feel like that's. But I mean,
all right, hold on. We've only got 30 seconds here.
Go.
So score prediction for tonight.
4-2 Canes.
I'm 5-2. And I think there's a couple, both sides, maybe an ugly one gets allowed because it's game one stuff and there's miscommunications.
Couple empty netters tonight.
Victoria,
perhaps. Who wins tonight's score? Final score.
Quick.
Oh, wait, for the hockey game?
Yes.
Canes 3-2.
All right. So
Let's
we're
go.
all giving up two with different levels of goal score.
Let's go.
That's going to do it for us. We're passing it off to Adam Gold. Enjoy the game, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Let's go, Canes.
Your fantasy roster is set. The Smack Talk is heating up, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Make the connection today with ESPN Bet Fan Center and the ESPN Fantasy app. ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21.